It's April the 14th, and you know why you're here. So let's kick this off right and introduce the players. I'm Gerissar, the PvP bad one.
Hey, and I'm Andallyn.
And I'm Windstead. So, today we have a very, very special guest. Yes. I'd like to introduce Maldiva, the Warlock Extraordinaire. So,
indeed.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Thank you for having me tonight.
Hey,
super excited to have you here.
Welcome back. It's been what? We were talking earlier. It's been 3 years?
Yeah, I think last time I was here was like 2017.
I think you're right.
Was it right before BlizzCon, or I think it was right after? I don't know. One or the other.
I think it was right before.
That was the year I was competing. So
yeah,
we were having a chat about all that BlizzCon stuff, regionals.
Exactly, talking about what that was like. But that's not why we brought you in here, not because of your esports background per se, but your extraordinary knowledge of warlockism.
Warlockism?
Warlockism. New word, just made it up.
My warlock powers.
Okay.
But, mighty they are.
Maldiva. Mm-hmm. I'm sure people know who you are, but why don't you tell people a little bit about yourself and maybe right off the bat where they can find you on the interwebs if they want to watch what you do?
Yeah, sure. So I've been playing World of Warcraft probably for about 12 years now. And I've been maining Warlock ever since like 2011, just going hard. And I streamed on Twitch for 9 years and then recently switched over to Facebook. So now I'm over on the Facebook gaming team. So I stream over there on facebook.com/Maldiva PvP.
Nice.
But yeah, just I compete a little bit, played at BlizzCon regionals, and now I'm kind of just kicked back, chilling, helping people out, just, doing like viewer games and stuff and helping other Warlocks learn and get better in Arena.
I like it.
Excellent.
I have to ask right off the bat here. What's it like being over at Facebook Gaming?
It's definitely different. Very, very different vibe compared to Twitch because, on Twitch, everyone's like crazy memey and spamming emotes and stuff. And then Facebook, It's just more kind of like casual. People are more respectful because I guess they have their personal identities out there.
That's
so
what I was
it's a whole different vibe that I've been getting used to it, and it's cool. It's more chill.
I know because they canceled.
That is very. That is a what? What are you putting out there?
They canceled my sub to you.
Yeah, I lost my partnership on Twitch because I went over there.
Oh no!
I mean, it makes sense, but it feels bad, man. I was like, I don't remember canceling it.
I think I just got into the affiliate program, so I'm starting from the bottom again.
I started from the bottom.
Getting a little promotion. Still not partnership level.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued by that.
Cool.
But I love how when you attach an identity to the account, how everybody just chills out.
Yeah. It's weird.
For some reason, that tickles me.
Some people will troll, but for the most part, everyone is just like kind of calm. I've only had a ban like a small amount of people, probably less than 5 people.
Oh wow!
Probably because their picture is attached to their profile, rather than just like everything. Tom Cruise pounds penguins. Like, okay.
Yeah, you can see everything. You can see where they work, their families. So.
Yeah, exactly. It's a little bit more.
Difference.
Yikes!
It's why I only have Phantom Facebook.
Hey, you could go over there with like a fake page and just be anonymous.
Well, when I was deployed, I had a fake Facebook account, that was, and I had a bunch of friends, but there was only a couple of people that I really cared about looking at, And so if anybody that I could friend on, I would friend on, but I was a fake person on Facebook.
Kexman, he's trolling our chat right now. He said, "You don't have to call it. You don't have to call out my Tom Cruise burner account like that."
That's an actual account. That's an actual account. That dude, he comes into the Methods channel every once in a while, and like he's like Rich's favorite guy.
Yeah, I remember.
Yes.
Well, hey, let's talk about what we've been up to for the last couple of weeks at least. And actually, I want to start with you, Maldiva. What have you been up to these last couple of weeks, bud?
Well, been stuck in the house, so playing a lot of WoW, doing Arena, and then now actually recently I got the alpha, so I've been messing around on Shadowlands alpha.
Yeah, I saw that the other day there. I went and saw you playing and streaming.
Yeah, I've actually got to stream it like quite a few times now. been doing the dungeon, trying to figure out the big damage specs for Affliction, because that's the spec I want to play. I think it's finally coming back.
Me too.
So how does it feel? Because I feel like there's I saw some of the updates that they made to Affliction where you like buff the dots tick harder based on the more dots you have on a target. So like, how does it feel so far?
Yeah. When you Malefic Rapture.
Yeah, that's what it is.
The ability. Yeah. So it's based on how many dots you have, and it feels good. That thing can hit pretty hard, but it's like topping the damage, not even close to any other spells. Like it's doing so much. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
I mean, it probably won't end up like that, but yeah.
I don't know. It seemed I mean, the numbers seem to be tuned like kind of how they want it. So I think it's gonna go in like that.
Mm-hmm.
But you're gonna have to cast that to get some AoE pressure, because that's how you're gonna cleave, is by spam pressing that.
Yeah.
And that's the spell that whatever you have a dot on gets hit by this spell.
Yeah, correct. And it costs a soul shard.
It's one of your main soul shard expenditures.
Yeah, I like that it feels good. I like that it feels good because it's just been a shame that it's literally just been like the sacrificial victim of BFA. Like that spec as a whole, literally. Like before it was arcane mages, now it's like Affliction Locks who are just like
Affliction's been getting shafted for a while.
Yeah.
Now hold on, I was great at my 2-button arcane. I will not have you talk.
Let's not lie. Arcane had 3 buttons.
Yeah.
Because you had to evocate every once in a while, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Your garage door opener had to be modified.
I still only use 2 fingers.
Skill capped.
I am gonna say, and Maldiva, I don't know if you feel this way or not, but are you expecting that it's going to be similar to what it's been previous expansions, where Affliction starts off strong and then somewhere in one of the raid tiers it switches over and ends up becoming Destro, like normal? Or you think?
I really hope not. I know they're really taking a close look and making sure this spec is good because it's been bad for so long. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think it's kind of decent in PvE. I don't know. I don't PvE, but
yeah,
I know it was like the spec that was doing so much damage single target, which is weird. It's like, why is Affliction dominating single target? Because that was supposed to be the rot spec.
Yeah.
Because Destro, I think Destro was like performing better on 2 targets, which is odd because of like habit and stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I hope not. I can't. Yeah. I don't know for sure, but
yeah, we'll see what the parses end up looking like. But yeah, I'm hopeful as well. It hurt me. It hurt me deep inside having to go hard Destro for all of BFA.
Yeah, yeah, I got used to it by now.
I'd reckon you'd start enjoying it by now. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, I mean, I have fun because of my gear. I just gear out for fun, super haste, and everybody hates me because my casts are so fast and they don't know what's going on.
And they lose.
There's like 3 chaos bolts coming at them in like 2.5 seconds. Freaks a lot of people out.
I was wondering how you're doing that.
Just stack a ton of haste.
Yep.
Stack a ton of haste, and that's how you go it, huh?
Usual.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think I threw up in my mouth a little bit.
What have you been up to the past couple of weeks?
What have I been up to the last couple of weeks? Well, I spent a little time gearing up my alt warrior, the one I played last expansion there, because I went and joined Des Mephisto for his planned 40v40 warrior brawl. Unfortunately, a few people that had originally signed up were not available, so it became a bit of a struggle. And then there ended up being some people that they showed up and started griefing us because he did it out in the Gurabashi arena, which becomes a big free for all, right? So Alliance Horde doesn't matter. It's just a huge, which made it even more fun. But there was like a team of 10 or so Alliance that actually came out and started griefing us. And it was really disheartening. The Ruin gaming community came out in spades, both Horde and Alliance side, to try to help bolster the warrior numbers. But in the end, we ended up doing some pretty fun all warrior war games over on and we did Deep Wing Gorge, but it was the legacy one, not the new one, as a war game. So that was actually pretty fun. That was a lot of fun. So another huge shout out to Des for all that. And let's see, what else did I do? Oh, yeah. So I got into the alpha as well. And so I did. I've made a couple of videos. They're going well. I recorded some stuff, I recorded some stuff. I can't say I made videos. I recorded some stuff, and then I passed it on to some of the video makers over at Warcraft Radio. So we may see those come out, or I may have to redo them. But I started going through all the classes, so I'm going through alphabetically, and just going through the spell books and all the abilities, and the talent trees, and seeing what they've done, and just kind of talking about them, and seeing, the interactions, and trying to gauge where that fits for things like PvP.
Yeah.
So, and then I actually streamed last night. Pardon me?
Have you played any of the dungeon content or anything like that?
No.
Or done some duels?
So wargaming is disabled right off the bat. You have to get back to the main city, or
I'm talking about duels.
Yeah, so I understand. So I'm just saying. So when I actually got on last night to play, and actually play, there was nobody around because it was 8 o'clock my time.
The novelty wears off pretty quickly.
Yeah. But I was lucky enough. I found a mage who portaled me over to Stormwind, so I was able to turn on war mode. So now I'm walking around with war mode on. So I'm pretty happy about that.
There's even less people.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of lonely. So we'll see.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, they just need to send out that second wave so that I can get in there.
Ah, dude, I can't wait for it. I'm looking forward to it. They need to get some more people on there. The queue times for the dungeon is really, really hard. And yeah. So hopefully we'll see what happens coming up. But it's I have to admit, the super shiny Bastion land I was a little put off by it. It was almost too shiny. It was too shiny.
Like Final Fantasy shiny?
Yeah.
It seems to me that's kind of from what I've been hearing of some of the spoiler things, that it's too perfect.
So
don't go too much further than that. Yeah. But it's like it is the heaven aspect of the Shadowlands, and it's almost too perfect.
It is, but like anything too
in
perfect, there's always faults. Yeah, I started getting into the storyline, and there's some cracks. So
yeah, so that's as much as I want to dig out on spoilers until I can play alpha and get it figured out for myself. Yeah, Andallyn, what have you been up to?
Ooh. Yes.
So magically over the course of the last week and a half, I became essential all over again at work. So I have been going back to work. So that's been great. So let's see. And then I have just enjoyed the Easter weekend with the fam, all that good stuff. And other than that, we got our first raid done with GOA over on Tychondria's Horde. That's been a lot of fun because your boy's been raid leading. So it's been a neat experience. It's been a neat experience. Makes me better at the game. You should try it sometime, Windstead.
I have tried raiding, and I find that PvP makes me better at raiding. So,
So have you actually been raid leading, or have you been cat herding?
Raid leading.
Okay.
I know a couple of the people in the guild, and it's been pretty fun. Cool. We're gonna give another shot this week, and we killed like 8 bosses last week, which is great.
Nice.
I was very pleased with it. Got a Drostigath trinket. Feels good.
Nice.
So it's been a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Yeah. But that's what I've been up to.
I have to ask though, if that's what you've been up to, Windstead, what have you been up to?
Leveling.
Really?
Oh my gosh!
You already had every tune at 120.
No, that's what I'm working on right now. Because the goal last expansion was that I'd have all the healers up to max level.
Oh, that's right.
And I succeeded. So all my healers were capped at 120, and I've been slowly just picking away at just burning off rested XP when I have the chance. And I'm on my last tune. He is currently, it's a warrior. He is level 106. I'm in Legion, and I have learned all the leveling tricks that are out there to help level efficiently. One fun one for guys, BFA is not very great at leveling. So especially with the Winds of Wisdom buff you have right now, if there's a class that you want to level, pretty much using Party Sync to go back to the earlier vanilla zones and level that way. It's a lot faster than most of the newer stuff. And then the other nice little finisher is that you can hit 120 without ever having to go to BFA really, really quickly. And again, it's a party sync trick, but when you go through Warlords of Draenor, you just grab all the treasures, and that's how you get to 110.
Yeah, we talked about this last time, right?
Yep. And then you party sync and go back after your level 110 in Legion.
Yeah, and do all the
do all the bonus
bonuses.
things, and you're basically. I think I was 118 when I finished that, and then you wait 24 hours, and then I went back and did 3 bonus events and capped myself. It was just the way to go. So, so tonight, if everything goes well, I should have a capped hunter. Probably tomorrow is the safer bet. But before the end of the week, I will have all classes capped at 120. Yesterday, I finally capped my Warlock. I was not able to get it there fast enough so that I could gear and actually play it in some PvP.
Okay.
But I have been playing Warlock, so I am ready for this chat.
Look at that.
Awesome. How many characters do you have at max level now? Windstead?
Total characters at max level, I think I'm up to like 15.
Okay.
Few on the Horde side. It'll be 15 after I get my hunter up.
Okay.
I have like 2 or 3 on the Horde side, and then 11 on the Alliance side, and then it'll be 12 as soon as I get this hunter capped.
Nice. Okay, so you're going to be even then with you're even with Mortai and Mahorti. He said he has 14.
14.
Yeah.
Ah.
There you go.
Yeah. So then I'm torn. Do I start leveling the Horde side?
Here's a question. Maldiva.
The answer is yes.
Have you been? Do you have any alts? Have you been leveling any alts in this Winds of Super XP period of time that we got?
No, not really.
Okay.
I can't stand leveling, so
He probably leveled another Warlock.
yeah, I already have too many of those. I don't have gear on them though.
As long as you got an
bad.
Alliance Warlock and a Horde Warlock, then you're set.
Yeah, I'm only playing one though because I cannot stand the gearing system in WoW. So
yeah. BFA gearing was a little.
It triggers me, so I just don't even try to gear alts.
Yeah,
because it's just a never-ending race, and you'll never win.
Yeah,
True that.
That's basically it. It's like a gambling addiction kind of game. It's a BFA tournament.
We're all gambling. Buy lottery
just
tickets.
Waiting. Yeah, we're waiting for Tuesday. You can only gamble on Tuesday.
Yeah, exactly. It's like being a gambling addict where you can only go to the casino and play twice every Tuesday.
Yep.
Exactly. And then you gotta wait a week. It's
yeah,
just
exactly. You'd think we'd be cured.
It's a tease.
Is that why it's called Super Tuesday? No. Anyway.
Who calls it that? It's Disappointment Tuesday.
Feels bad. All right.
Yep.
the house always wins.
Now
Big true.
that
Big true.
everybody knows what we've been up to, why don't we roll into our next fun segment, which is the Need, Greed, and Pass.
This likely won't be it. Right. So keep your distance, Harry.
Alrighty, let's roll right in. So, Need Green Pass belongs to moi this time. So, let me go ahead and start out. So, guys, I don't know if you realize this. Actually, yeah, I do. Oh, I needed to pull it back up because when my computer crashed. So,
oh my,
there are. I have it. I can pull it up. I remember it. So, today is April the 14th, right? So, as you probably already know, it's National Mom and Pop Business Day. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know that, but okay.
Sure. Okay.
Okay. So, what we're going to do is we're gonna roll Need, Greed, and Pass on 3 businesses that have started out as a mom and pop place but are now large empires. Okay. The region I'm picking large ones is so that you can actually know what the heck you're picking between. Okay. So for those of us who are of more of the Papasia background, these are businesses that started out as mom and pop places. They are no longer mom and pop places, but they started out as mom and pop places. So here we go. Need, Greed, Pass on the mom and pop place of Whole Foods, Walmart, and Ben and Jerry's.
Say that again.
Need, greed, pass. Walmart, Whole Foods, and Ben and Jerry's ice cream. Are you familiar with those? Do they have those in Canada?
I'm just confused on how this has anything related to video games.
Yeah,
Wait, so
You have to be.
how does this work? We have to pick which one we need.
Yeah, so
Which one
like
are you gonna
the
roll
rolling
need on?
system, like the roll system in World of Warcraft days of old, you have your need, the thing that you need to have in the game. You have your greed, things that you like or want to have in the game, and then you have your pass.
All right. I mean, that one's an easy one. Do you want me to answer it?
Sure, go for it.
Go for it.
Okay. Well,
Show
the best
Winston
one
how
out
it's
of that's
done.
probably Ben and Jerry's. So you're gonna have to need on Ben and Jerry's. We'll greed on Whole Foods and then pass on Walmart.
That was quick.
Solid.
Nah,
Solid
I'm just
answer.
pass.
Just,
I'm sorry, Matt. Pass.
You can't.
Were you too good for all these?
Yeah, pretty much.
Wait. Do they even have all these things where you live, Winstead?
Yeah, they do. Pass.
Okay.
Yeah.
He gets his
Wow.
He gets his food from what, Aldi or something?
Smith's.
Now that has the name of a mom and pop store right there.
I mean, like Ben and Jerry's kind of sounds like mom and pop. So I mean, okay, cool. Then it was Walmart and Whole Foods. It's like,
Yeah.
eh.
Okay.
Well, Ben and Jerry's is like the best ice cream.
Big True.
I'm a big fan of Russell's.
Never heard of that.
Never heard of it.
Oh,
No.
wow.
Yeah.
Pretty
it's
sure you
just-
made it up.
Yeah.
Nah, it's Russell's ice cream.
Which is your
my
name
ice
too.
Yep.
Okay.
Sounds like we got some.
So
Identity
okay.
reveal.
okay.
Garrissar, let's got it.
So I'm gonna need on Whole Foods. It's hard to find a quality grocery store, and yes, Walmart has that, but I don't want to get into the politics of it, but Walmart is Walmart. Anyways, I'm gonna go with Whole Foods for need. I'm gonna greed on Ben and Jerry's. Because if I'm not mistaken, Ben and Jerry's, I thought they made a World of Warcraft or a Blizzard something ice cream.
Was that Ben and
I thought they made
Jerry's?
something. Yeah, I thought Ben and Jerry's did.
Anyway,
Anyway,
Mountain Dew
makes
made
blizzards.
no, I know Dairy Queen does that, but I thought
a Blizzard something, not Blizzards.
yeah, I thought they made an ice cream for like World of Warcraft once as like a theme or something, like a whatever. And I'm gonna pass on Walmart, only because for the last while that I've gone to Walmart, I haven't seen anything World of Warcraft. In fact, actually, my wife actually went to Walmart the other day to buy a new card for Game Time, and the Walmart didn't even have. She couldn't even buy Game Time from the Walmart. They didn't even have the cards anymore. So that's my answer. Screw Walmart. They don't support WoW anymore.
Desperate times, man. So I think definitely the move is to need on Ben and Jerry's. Solid, absolutely. I'm gonna greed on Walmart just because like Walmart's great for that. Like I need like a trash can that isn't gonna cost me like $120. Like here's a trash can. It's only look at that. It's $24. Okay, like you know what I mean. Like so I'm gonna greed on Walmart. And I'm going to pass on Whole Foods.
Sounds fair.
Okay.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Is there another round of this?
No, that was about it.
Yeah.
Oh, we're only doing one? Okay.
Thankfully.
Damn.
All right. So I'm going to do this out to the community, out to our listeners right now in Twitch chat. Let us know what you would do. Need, greed, and pass between Ben and Jerry's, Walmart, and Whole Foods. What would you guys do? Oh, and if you can find the flavor that I was talking about for Ben and Jerry's, go ahead and
Bonus
DM me.
points.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bonus points.
Send him some.
I could be wrong. All right. Let's get into our upcoming PvP events. What's going on next?
That's news. Wait. Oh, events.
Get in there and fight! Stop hiding!
Let's roll into the events.
I suddenly remembered our conversation. News, no events, no events, no news.
Yeah. I know. I didn't want to mess it up this time. I was like, wait, okay, don't do news. Don't do news. Don't do news.
Okay. So again, Dalaran Gaming still going strong with his 5v5 1v1s. So again, keep an eye out for those over at twitter.com Dalaran Rogue. Still haven't seen anything further on the to be determined date of the 3v3 Twink tournament over on Whitemane. I don't know. I'm just kind of disappointed about that. I really was hoping that would come through soon.
Yeah, they dropped out last year too, so we'll see if it happens.
Yeah. I wonder if they're just not getting enough people signing up.
Sometimes, a lot of times it's dates. It's a lot of people, and if the major players can't all find out the same date, then it just doesn't happen. So.
Well, and if it's date to be determined, then people are
is.
probably waiting until the date is actually determined before they sign up. So.
Oh yeah.
Chicken and egg issue. All right. As we said before, Des Mephisto is doing a host of events all throughout April. Last weekend was the 40v40 Warrior Brawl. I know there's some other events that he has coming up here. So again, I'll have the Reddit link for that. But if you guys want to go over, he has a Twitter or Discord channel or Discord server for everything as well. And with the success and how much fun the 40v40 Brawl was last weekend, he intends to be doing things monthly like that. So if you couldn't make the one on the 12th because it was Easter, but you want to be part of that, go over to his... Pardon me. Whoa. I got the hiccups. Go over to his Discord and by all means, sign up and let him know and keep an eye out for when he's doing the next event. Should be fun. Official Blizzard Esports. We have the MDI stuff continuing this month. So the American First Cup is going to be happening this weekend. And the 25th is going to be Asia Cup number 2. The weekend of the 2nd of May is going to be the American Cup number 2. Into the rest of May is the 3rd Cup for Europe, Asia, and then America the next 2 weeks following that. And then we should be seeing the AWC starting on the 22nd of May. So I don't know about you guys. I'm pretty excited about that. The MDI stuff is fun in its own, but I'm really excited for the arena stuff.
Yeah, I have to admit, I did watch a lot of the MDI this last go.
Yeah?
I decided to give NASCAR a try. And I was actually pleasantly surprised by what goes on in there. So, I mean,
there's some pretty crazy stuff.
Yeah, they do some fun stuff in there. I'm not going to lie. Some of the, like one of the ones that I saw was they had, I think it was the, what's the pirate dungeon in BFA?
Freehold.
Okay, so the team had just rushed all the way to the final boss, and then apparently there's these pylons that will spawn
that's
mobs
part of the new,
that you have to do that you have to fight.
Yes.
The awaken. Yeah. Okay, so the awaken affix. You can see how much I paid attention. But the awaken aspect triggered, and the hunter just snatched up all the excess mobs and then began to run away, kiting the 4 mobs away.
He did.
While the team just beat on the boss. And I thought that was pretty classy right there.
That was amazing on 2 things. Is that he was able to kite the mobs without getting hit, which would have been deadly.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a display of skill here, and I appreciate displays of skill.
And the other thing is that he was the healer, so
the hunter.
It was
the hunter that pulled it off.
Why did I see it being the monk that pulled it off?
No, I think it was the hunter that did it. It was.
I thought it was the healer. I thought it was the monk.
Team name was a P name.
Yeah, it's Perplexed.
Yeah, Perplexed did it.
Yeah, I watched it. Anyways,
We'll have to go back because I thought it was the hunter that did that.
okay. I don't know.
He was just fighting him like mad. He, using tar traps and things like that. He was just running away from him, leaving him in the dust. And I just tip my hat to that. That's a pretty neat way of handling that particular incident. So, still not my cup of tea, but hey, I could see how people could enjoy it.
Indeed. Well, that's pretty much it. I don't know about any other events that are coming up. Again, shout out to the community. If you guys know of anything else that is coming up, please let us know, and we will happily share it to the listeners and tweet it out on the socials so that we can share the wealth of information of what's going on out there. But I think we've talked enough about us. Let's start picking into Maldiva's brain here and figuring out why Destro Locks are on the top of the ladder.
I'm gonna light you up,
You want another
sweetie.
Let's do it, man.
I think I already know the answer to it, but let's get, because I find this really special because we're in that last phase of BFA. Everything is pretty much about as balanced as it's going to get for BFA.
Yeah.
And Warlocks did take a bit of a nerf in 8.3, right? Like our demon armor kind of got nerfed a little bit.
Yeah, they took, what was it? They took some of the armor off of it and 5% health increase off of it.
Yeah.
So
that
made them
hurt a little
more
bit.
Squishy versus melee, but we're still performing decently well.
Indeed.
Nothing can stop us.
You say that, yet I seem to die frequently. I don't know. Usually it's because I like storm into a horde of 3 horde or 4 horde, and I end up trying to 4v1. That doesn't go well for me.
You're never gonna.
Your odds are still in your favor, though.
The odds are still in my favor.
You just gotta be affliction. Just got him up and run away.
Oh, I wish. No, instead I'm stuck in this horrible nightmare of Destro.
Yeah.
Well, let's roll into it then, at least. So obviously everybody knows Destro Lock. They're there for one reason. They're there to turret and cause mayhem and destroy people's faces, right? Drop the fire on their faces and just watch it melt like they were on Raiders of the Lost Ark or something.
That's a great movie.
I know.
Anytime you're battling Nazis.
All right.
Movie.
All right, glorious
Sorry.
bastards. Maybe that's a good need greed pass right there. Nazi movies.
Okay, so back to Warlock. So let's talk first support. I mean, obviously they do damage. They don't have any way of healing other than Warlock candy, right?
The cookies.
Coil.
Coil? Yeah, I guess.
It's like your pretty big heal defensive kind of. That's consistent.
Okay, but that's a self heal. You're not really helping anybody else other than yourself, right?
Oh yeah. I don't know if you were talking about self healing or.
Yeah, it was just kind of generic talking stuff. But
Yeah, we're not healing anybody else unless we give them a Hellstone.
exactly. And don't get me wrong though, doing a death coil heal is important, especially if you're in the dire straits where you need to heal yourself, and because your healer's in CC, it's always handy. Other than that though, for like CC stuff, what do we got? So you got your death coil, which we talked about. You got your fear, which is standard kit.
Shadow Fury.
Yep, Shadow Fury, that's a good one.
Little
The big AoE
stun
stun.
there.
Yeah.
Hmm.
There's the stun
Tunnels.
for the Infernal, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, I keep.
Yep, you have old succubi.
And then Conflag Root.
Oh
most
yeah.
annoying one.
Yeah.
If you talent into it though.
Yeah, you have to spec into that one.
Yes.
All right.
Did you hear the
Is there-
succubus sleep?
Yes. Oh yeah. So yeah, then there's your demon stuff. So you got the succubus sleep. That's important. Again, that's if you have your succubus up and you're not running fell puppy. Depending.
Yeah, that one kind of goes into the category of fear. Probably, I'd say.
Does it share a cool
It's the same
diminishing
DR.
return with it? Okay.
Yeah.
So not exactly the best thing to be running situationally. As long as you're controlling when you push when the pet does it.
Depends on what you're playing against, right?
Could be situations where you would use it, but I mean, it's channeled, I think, still. So they can just kick it and then there it goes.
Yeah, and
Really easy to
it's
stop.
on a cooldown, so it's not like you can spam it either.
Yep.
All right. Is there anything else that you can think of there, Maldiva? Do we miss
Crowd
it?
control wise?
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, we
But I
covered
mean,
everything.
For the most part, I mean that's still a pretty big kit, right?
Yeah.
Mind you, I guess the one upside is that the coil doesn't share the same DR because it's a horror, not a fear, right? So
It's classified as like a sheep.
is okay.
Coil shares the sheep sap.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Well, I guess that's why. Well, I guess that's only really important if you're running MLD, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to make sure you don't do that. But all right, well then let's actually get into the actual meat and potatoes here of the good old Warlock, and I think talents are probably a really good start point. Look at what we can choose to help bolster the abilities, and how those really actually interact with each other. So I guess actually, Windstead, if you can you start off with looking at the first row?
So we have Flashover, Eradication, and Soulfire are the talents. Now, let me bring it up here, right here. All right, so Flashover is a passive that Conflagellate deals an additional 25% increased damage and grants an additional charge of Backdraft. Eradication, Chaos Bolt increases the damage you deal to the target by 10% for 7 seconds. And Soulfire burns the enemy, dealing, in my case, 7,248 damage. Fire damage. Cooldown is reduced by 2 seconds for every soul shard you spend. So get Flashover, Eradication, or Soulfire, another button to push. So what do you recommend here, Maldiva?
This one's an easy one. It's always Flashover. Like
Always
no question
Flashover.
about it. Yeah.
That can flag damn.
Well, in that case, Flashover it is. Setting my
It's a
talents.
huge buff to conflag.
I'm setting my talents as we talk about this.
Perfect.
It's just like the ultimate way to go.
I'll give you the talent hacks.
Perfect.
It's awesome.
So why do you choose? I mean, Eradication. That seems like it'd be pretty decent that you'd be dealing 10% increased damage for 7 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So your first one hits, and then the next one would hit with an additional 10% if you line that up right. So I mean, it does seem like that wouldn't be bad.
Not to mention your immolate dot would take harder too.
Yeah,
all the damage you deal with it.
So why and then Soulfire? You're either using. your Chaos Bolts is the thing that really does the damage, and this uses your Soul Shard, so it's very counter what you're trying to do by building up your Soul Shards to then unload your Chaos Bolts if you're then using them for Soulfire instead.
No, Soulfire is a generator.
Yeah.
Oh, is that?
It generates 4. It doesn't use 4.
Yeah.
Cooldown is reduced by 2 seconds for every Soul Shard you spend.
It generates 4 fragments.
Oh, okay. So it generates 4 fragments, and then whenever you use a Soul Shard, it's reduced the cooldown by 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense. Okay.
So it's like an extra generator.
Okay.
Seems like the cast on it's pretty short too.
Yeah, 1.3 second cast with no haste bonus. It's got a 20-second cooldown though, so it's something that you can only benefit from once every 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Wait,
Well, maybe a little.
Sorry,
less.
hold on. You
just said the cooldown was reduced by 2 seconds for every soul shard you spend.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Bolt will reduce it by 4 seconds.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I'm a little confused though. Windstead, you just said what was the cast time on it?
I'm at 1.3 seconds.
That you're in game, aren't you?
I am.
Okay, because it's 1.5 on the WoW head.
Haste.
Oh, so my character does have some haste on.
Mine says 1 second. I don't know why it says that.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know.
I'm looking at like, oh wow,
Here, let me go ahead and take off my gear so I can make sure that I'm giving accurate readings on.
Okay.
Right.
You guys are funny.
Wowhead is hard.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm using this opportunity to go ahead and talent out my warlock under the express tutelage of Maldiva.
Yeah.
So
there you go. I can't think of anybody better.
We'll get him playing the right talents.
Yeah.
Maybe he might actually do some damage.
If you have the wrong talent build, you're not going to be doing much.
Yeah. All right. Well, how about that? Let's get into the next row. Andallyn, I'm going to ping you on that.
Yeah, buddy. Let's get into it. So we've got reverse entropy. Your spells have a chance to grant you 15% haste. I don't know why that would be useful. For 8 seconds. Okay, we have internal combustion. Sounds like a fire mage ability. Chaos Bolt consumes up to 5 seconds of immolates damage over time, effect on your target, instantly dealing that much damage. And we also have Shadow Burn, which blasts the target for 60% of your spell power as Shadow Flame damage. If this target dies within 5 seconds and yields experience or honor, Shadow Burn's cooldown is reset. So, Maldiva, is this part of your haste inner workings? You reverse entropy, pulling out some more haste with us?
Oh yeah, I think most locks are in PvP are running reverse because it has decent uptime.
Yeah,
and 15% haste, like that's pretty juicy.
Mm-hmm.
Especially as a passive.
Yeah.
So, would I be correct in saying that anything that's going to help you get closer, that's going to help you get to a Chaos Bolt faster and cast that Chaos Bolt faster is going to be God tier, S tier?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of things scale with haste too, which I don't think many people realize. But like you'll generate more shards if you have more haste because your dot ticks are faster and everything.
Yeah.
Like I generate shards like crazy with my haste build. Internal combustion could be interesting because it's based on immolate damage. 5 seconds. So since I have more haste, my immolate's going to do more over the 5.
Mm-hmm.
So it could pump, but I don't know. Losing reverse.
I imagine you have to cap out on that for you only get X amount of ticks until you hit a certain threshold, and then it's just like impossible to get to that next
increasing.
tick.
It keeps increasing with each threshold. But I have so much haste amplifications that during combat I can jump up. I think someone snapped it and I got to like 180% in arena. So I can hit those breakpoints pretty easily. Yeah, that's why the haste build is so good. And there's a little secret that haste reduces the cooldown of conflag. The recharge timer on conflag is affected by haste.
Yeah,
I play like this weird, crazy conflag build, which is why flashover is like 100% need to be chosen.
I believe it. I remember I was talking to somebody. I was telling them that I was trying to like what my build was, and they're like, "Why don't you have crit?" I'm like, "No. Crit's useless in PvP. It's like 50% reduced." I'm like, "Oh no, you can still hit like super hard with it." I'm like, "Yeah, no."
So here's a question. As soon as I read on talents, because I mean, Warlocks, this is not the only spell, this is not the only class, this is not the only spec that's got one of these talents that has this blurb in it that if the target dies within X amount of time that yields experience or honor, the cooldown is reset. Anything that says that is basically garbage in PvP, in my opinion.
I mean, Battlegrounds maybe.
Yeah.
But
absolutely not.
You're not going to gain benefit out of that in arena, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, in arena is just utterly worthless because you only got 3 targets at most.
Unless that works on like pets and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, because pets don't give experience or honor.
Yeah.
So that would be something interesting to test. That'd be something interesting to test, but I don't think that it works that way because a pet doesn't give experience or honor.
Good point.
It'd be like if you killed a Tendy or something. It'd just be like, it's dead. Yeah.
Well, actually, if that's the case, then you could shadow burn a totem and get.
Yeah. See, that'd be nuts because then you could just like get crazy shard gen.
That'd be hilarious.
You could exploit it pretty hard.
Yeah. But I think you're right, Andallyn, is especially in arena, anything that has that if a target dies within you that has experience, that yields experience or honor, boom, boom, boom. Like, it's. Yeah. But I agree with Windstead. If you're talking rated battlegrounds, like that has some serious implications.
I think it's still a debate in rated battlegrounds. Absolutely. I mean, I could be wrong, but I mean, I would bet money on the fact that it's a debate.
I think you might be right in this case, because I think the amount of haste you get from reverse entropy. Yeah, I think the amount of haste you get for reverse entropy, just hands down, you can't beat it. Yeah. Especially if that lines up with you being able to do a bunch of chaos bolts. Like it's It's nuts.
Yeah,
well, let's get into the next row here. Pardon me?
Sorry, I was just saying you're bringing way more value.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think so. So next row, we got Demon Skin, where now your Soul Leech will also passively recharge at a rate of 0.5% of your maximum health every second, up to 15% of your maximum health. So you get that nice little shield around you. Burning Rush, where you click a little thing and you can all of a sudden run 50% faster, but you damage at 4% of your maximum health every second. And movement and parrying effects may not reduce you below 100% of normal movement speed, and keeps going until either you die or you cancel it. Or Dark Pact. So sacrifice 20% of your current health to shield you for 250% of the sacrificed health for 20 seconds. Unusable while suffering from control and parrying effects, such as mind control. So, correct me if I'm wrong, Maldiva, but I think Demon Armor is like the click it and forget it, right? Or Demon Skin?
Yeah, we don't really change that in PvP. I know Burning Rush is PvE talent, but Demon Skin is always going to be the pick. Just always.
Well, and Burning Rush doesn't actually kill you. It will turn off right before you
it'll
take
turn
your
off
last
before
bit
you
of
die.
health.
Oh.
Yeah, it'll turn off, but if you get hit by anything, then yes, you die.
It used to be kind of useful when it broke sheep, but I tested it and it doesn't break sheep anymore because you could put it up and then the damage on yourself should break the sheep. But,
no way.
Or like trap, but it doesn't work anymore. So it's pretty much useless.
Bummer.
That's too much damage to take in PvP.
Well, 4% of your health, like that's huge.
Yeah. You don't want to be doing that.
Well, since that one's such an easy one, I guess
Demon Skin.
I'm going to try the next one here. Between Inferno, Fire and Brimstone, and Cataclysm. So Inferno, your Rain of Fire has a 20% chance to generate Soul Shard fragments. Fire and Brimstone, Incinerate now also hits all enemies near your target for 40% of the damage and generates 1 Soul Shard fragment for each additional enemy hit. And Cataclysm, which is that nice big AoE on a target location, dealing 180% of your spell power as Shadow Flame damage to all enemies within 8 yards, and affecting them with Immolate in Destruction or other spells if you're not Destro. But we only care about Immolate right now. So, Inferno is kind of looking good because you drop your Infernal, then you drop a Rain of Fire on that area, right, to generate some more buffs on your Chaos Bolts. And if you do that with this, then you're generating more shards, which then just means more Chaos Bolts, right?
Yeah, it could work like that. That's a little too freaky though. For
Inferno? That 20% chance to proc?
Yeah, it's 20% chance to proc 1 fragment. It's like,
Oh, it's only 1 fragment. Okay, I thought it was like a 1 fragment for
generate a Soul Shard. Now, I do imagine that if you have a large group of enemies, if you're out there AoE farming, that this is probably a pretty decent thing to do, because if you're pulling every tick of the Chaos Bolt, it has a 20% chance to generate a Soul Shard. So if you're hitting 10 targets, then I imagine this is pretty good. But if you're only hitting 2 targets per tick, that's not a guarantee that you'll generate a lot of Soul Shards.
Does it definitely generate faster than what Cataclysm would?
I don't know. I think Cataclysm is just too good.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
Like looking at those
even if you are hitting a bunch of targets,
Cataclysm actually hits pretty hard.
It does,
and it's especially good in arena because people are, if they're like on the pillar or stacking up, you get such good value.
Yeah, you can get them around the pillar.
Like 50k Kata hits. I think actually maybe I've gotten like 80.
Yeah, as an Arm Pala player, I hate it.
Yeah.
Now, would there be a place for Fire and Brimstone when you're dealing with melee matches? Because you're generating, because you're a DK Ret or DK Warrior, or just when you have 2 melees that are going to be sitting on a target, because it's saying it's generating an additional soul fragment whenever it hits somebody, whenever it hits an additional target. So you have the 2 targets on top of each other. You're generating the 2 soul shards that you normally generate from your Incinerate, and then an additional one when it's against another melee if they're stacked on top of each other. So you're getting 3 shards for the one cast.
I think maybe it'll be. I'd have to try it versus a DK because I could see it maybe being good versus DK. Because if they epoch. But I mean, normally I just play Kata and then I Kata it all and then I have immolates on them and then I generate shards for those immolates with all my haste. And it's probably going to be way more value than Fire and Brimstone ever will be.
I think that's the trick is, first of all, you have to be able to get off the Incinerate cast and hit it at the same time when two are close to each other. Yeah. Versus Kata, you get the big womp of Kata hitting, plus then they also have Immolate on them, which then you can generate soul shards way easier. So interesting. But
yeah, no, I'm intrigued by that choice. I'm intrigued by that choice because it does seem that Cataclysm, it's an AoE thing on your screen that you have to hit them. So there could be, you have to make sure you set that up. It's a 30-second cooldown time. And then the Fire and Brimstone is just, it's now passive that every time you hit more than one target. So against pet classes or multiple melee classes, that might be, I mean, just from what I see, and actually, I have done no PvP on this.
That's a good point, actually. Maldiva, compared to pets, how many shards do you get off of pets as well? Like between, let's say, if you did Fire and Brimstone and just was Incinerate spamming, and there's a pet there, versus doing a Cataclysm and getting the pet as well as assuming that all, two player classes plus a pet was in the same zone as Kata. What do you think?
Probably get more value out of the Kata.
Really?
I mean, it's mainly just because of the Immolate, because it saves you globals. So like when I don't have shards, and I can't press a Chaos Bolt, and maybe I need to refresh my Immolate, so they're running behind the pillar. Kata's just like the perfect answer, because it starts really cleaving.
Because it doesn't. There's no line of sight rule if you can just get the target reticle.
Yeah, it's just
situational
enough. Because people are not going to be stacked up enough for that. And then you just generating one extra little fragment off of them when you're hitting an Incinerate. Because I'm only really incinerating if I don't have anything else to do. That's like the last priority thing you do.
Oh, really?
Because you're fearing when you don't have shards. And you're using your conflags to build up. Conflags like my major shards builder.
Okay.
So I have such a short conflag cooldown that I don't even really need to incinerate unless I'm fighting melee that I'm just like completely turning down. And that's when I incinerate a lot.
Okay. Interesting.
But yeah, really
just as filler almost then. Right.
That just tells me how much more I need to build more haste onto my gear because I'm having to incinerate just to create shards, right? Because you get shards off of incinerate as well. So.
Yeah, I have a damage breakdown from a 3-minute arena in 3s, and I press Incinerate 6 times. And Cataclysm got pressed 4 times.
Wow.
And I hit 10 things. So
yeah, I can see that.
Definitely more value.
Okay.
Indeed. All right.
Yeah, because each tick of the dot has a chance to block another soul shard. Tick of the dot.
Oh, okay.
Has a chance to generate another soul shard. And so it's a little bit more guaranteed that you have a much higher percentage chance of getting that off versus the probability that 2 people stack at just the right time for you to make that happen.
Yeah, Immolate ticks is 1 fragment and then 50% chance to gain an additional one on a crit.
Okay.
Huge.
All right.
So when you have Dark Swap, you're farming shards.
Nice. Well, let's get in Windstead. How about you take level 75 talents here? This one gets interesting. This is where we start getting some interesting stuff.
I'm getting ganked in freaking the capital city on Alliance. I'm in Tradeswood Market and some rogue just killed me. All right, so 75 talent. We have a choice of Dark Fury, Mortal Coil, and Demonic Circle. So Dark Fury, that's the stun that we have available as Warlocks. And it reduces the cooldown of Shadow Fury by 15 seconds. Then you have Mortal Coil, horrifies an enemy target into fleeing and incapacitates for 3 seconds, and healing you for 20% of maximum health. So you get a heal and a fear all on an instant cast at a 45-second cooldown. And then Demonic Circle, the guy just killed me again. Okay, then demonic circle. The problem is that I'm naked so that I can see what the actual stats are. So I have like no gear, and this guy just one shot me. So I'll just leave myself dead for a minute.
Okay.
Demonic circle. The things I do for you guys. At least I'm not incurring a repair bill right now.
That's
Imagine
no
though,
repair
you
bill.
could just open up Wowhead.
But then I couldn't.
You're not doing anything for
update
us.
I couldn't update my talents while we're talking.
I'd rather look at it in game.
Yeah.
I have to admit, just quickly,
boys.
I had to ask Mahorty, our listener there in Twitch chat, if he was the one ganking Windstead or not, but he was in a BG, so it wasn't him.
Okay.
His alibi
It's a
checks
rogue.
out.
It's a rogue. I'll give him a shout out if I can. Let me pull up my combat log because it's
Jeez, he's gonna get a shout out. I need to gank you more often.
Korgath. Korgath is the guy that like just dropped me in like a single hit because I'm a naked warlock in the middle of the Trade Winds district. So, and then demonic circle. Sorry guys for the sidebar. Summons a demonic circle for 15 minutes. Cast demonic circle. Teleport to its location. So I think this is a 2-button spell. Like one you cast, and then the next button you push to recall to the teleport. So it's like the monk teleport spell is what I'm kind of thinking here.
Transcendence.
Yeah. Teleport to its location and remove all movement slowing effects. Demonic circle teleport. Yeah, so when you click, I'm going to click on this talent because I'm intrigued, but I can't do that while you're dead.
Nope.
Okay, well, I'll go pick up my body and verify something here for us real time. But Mortal Coil is the go-to, I'm assuming.
Nah, there's places for demonic circle though.
Yes.
Right? There's some huge things to use with demonic circle, especially. I mean, warlocks don't have a lot of movement, so aside from this and our portal. That's it, right?
Yeah. So like on Blade's Edge, what does the breakdown look like between is Mortal Coil, does it just come down to what you're playing, or is a Blade's Edge like a heavily favored on a do you just say demonic circle's just too valuable?
I'm pretty much playing Coil like every game.
Every game. Okay. I had a feeling, but I was just curious.
I think it's too powerful paired up with Havoc.
Yeah.
Like, Havoc Coil is just such good setup and control.
Yeah. On a side note,
too.
the demonic circle actually gives you 2 buttons to push when you talent into it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so you have the demonic circle spell, which is on a 10-second cooldown, and then the teleport spell, which is on a 30-second cooldown. So every 10 seconds, you could set up another location that you want to teleport to, and then on the 30 seconds, you can go ahead and teleport to that location.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you need to adjust for 2. Careful, I'm streaming.
All right, which is also very important because just like with, you see the same thing with Windwalkers, where they drop their port in the wrong location, refresh themselves, and next thing you know, they go to do a teleport and end up portaling like 3 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to be careful of that. You definitely got to be careful of that.
Indeed.
Sorry, I missed all of that.
Coil is the safer option.
Okay, so Coil is a safer option.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I assume. I mean, the 20% heal on top of the fear just seems so much more beneficial to you than I got away from you.
Oh yeah. Well, no, 100%.
And like you said, using Havoc with that, where you're coiling, you're fearing off 2 targets instead of just 1, which is amazing. So, Maldiva, I have to ask then: is there a time that you would actually consider using Circle?
Very rarely. And let's say, like in 3's MLD, people like to play the Spite Trinket, so you got to port out of that.
Yo.
That was like the big major one, or even some melee cleaves. You'd really piss them off because they want a pillar, so you push in, you put the pillar in the middle of the map, and then you push onto their pillar, and then they start getting offensive on you. You just port out in the middle of the map.
Okay.
You just keep teasing them. But yeah, I don't play it too much.
Fair.
So just very situational.
Yeah, super situational.
Like I do like that idea of putting it in the middle of the map and then going in and teasing somebody at the pillar and then portaling out and making them come back to you.
Yeah.
That's, I like it. All right. So who was that? That was Windstead. So Andallyn.
Yeah.
90 level?
Yeah, let's get into it. So first up, we've got Roaring Blaze. Conflagrate burns the target for an additional 48% of your spell power as fire damage over 6 seconds. We've got Grimoire of Supremacy. While you have an Infernal active, every soul shard you spend increases the damage of your Chaos Bolt by 8 seconds. Huge. Grimoire of Sacrifice sacrifices your demon pet for power, gaining its command demon ability and causing your spells to sometimes also deal 35% of your spell power additional damage as shadow damage. It also lasts 1 hour or until you summon a demon pet. So we're going with the big fatty bolts.
Well, for my playstyle, I actually play with Roaring Blaze.
Yeah, I thought you would. Yeah, with the super haste.
I'm a Roaring Blaze because I'm a Conflag block because I have so much haste, so it pays off a lot of uptime on Roaring. It's just crazy.
Which makes sense if you're conflagging everybody and then now you have a rolling dot on them on top of immolate. Like that's
I have
That's
like
a lot of soul shards generation
80
right
to
there.
90% uptime on Roaring. So
I feel like
play that.
The way that actually like kind of dovetails in with the meta is actually so advantageous to you because like most melee queuing around what I'm like a 2K 2100. I mean, you're playing higher than that, but I feel like most of the people that I come across are saying, "Hey, I'm going to kick I got first Chaos Bolt." They're not kicking Conflag, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like from my point of view, it almost helps you that you're a heavy Conflag Warlock because the meta is set up in such a way and players are just almost indoctrinated to don't kick Conflag, kick Chaos Bolt.
Or you mean fire?
What's that?
Or you mean kicking fire? Because Conflag's instant.
Oh.
You mean incinerate.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking of Incinerate then. Conflag is
Yeah.
instant.
Yeah.
I thought you said your Conflag had a 1 second cast.
No, it recharges.
No, it's Soulfire.
Oh, recharges
That's
it.
when we're
Okay,
looking-
gotcha.
That's when we're looking at the Soulfire talent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
No, my Conflag cooldown is reduced by haste. The recharge rate. Because it has 2 charges,
okay.
and it has a recharge rate, which is affected directly by haste.
Gotcha. I
13
know what you're talking
seconds
about.
for standard. Yeah,
I'm
13
mixing up
second
your
recharge on
Incinerate
Conflagulate
and your
standard.
Conflag
13?
rate. Okay.
Damn.
13 second standard. So with your, I'm curious now. At your 50% haste, what's your recharge when you mouse over that spell? What's your recharge time on your 50% haste?
Yeah, right now it says 8.8. I drop it down quite a bit.
Your 5 seconds dropped.
That's before he's popped up at like 180% mastery. Or
then I get up to 100% haste in combat, and it
Exactly.
drops down to like 6.8 seconds.
That's before essences. That's before Azurite traits. That's before.
That's marvelous.
That's before reverse entropy.
Yeah.
That's Oh man.
Jeez.
Okay.
With a bunch of procs, I get it under 6 seconds. 5.5.
Wow.
Yeah,
So-
so that's why it's so good.
So I have to ask this question then. Understanding that your build is particularly like it's a haste conflag build, what your play style is around. At what breakpoint does it become more advantageous to run Roaring Blaze more definitively or more often than the Grimoire Supremacy Fatty Bolt style, where you drop the Infernal, the one that everybody talks about. You drop the Infernal, then you drop a Rain of Fire because of talent, because of Azurite traits and everything, and then you wait for it to build up a little bit, and then you can start doing some fatty bolts with your Dark Soul.
I don't think there's really a limit. Like, pretty much everybody's playing Supremacy for the most part, and you can play it no matter what gear setup. It really comes down to preference. Like, I could be playing Supremacy with my gear because you can say, with all my haste, my shard gen is super high, and then I could just chuck bolts and stack it up super fast and have the shards coming back to me. But I don't know. I play Supremacy, and then people just run. I barely get a good. Maybe I'll get like 1 good Supremacy bolt off, maybe 2, and it only buffs my bolt damage by. It seems to be like 30,000-40,000 damage on the 1 bolt.
Okay.
I'd rather just have my consistent Roaring Blaze damage that's always like 5% of my total damage. So my damage outside of cooldowns is always higher.
Makes
Well,
sense.
I just have that extra
and my-
rot
Yeah.
going into my bolts.
So does the 8% damage stack per shard you're using? So you like get 8% and then the next shard you use you get another 8%, so you're up 16%, or is
Yeah,
it just
on
straight
Supremacy?
only 8% on the Supremacy?
Yeah.
Is that the way that works?
Yeah, it'll stack up.
Stacks.
So each shard you spend, it's cut in half in Arena. I think it's 4% in Arena now. 'Cause there's 2
Oh.
shell.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
So every shard you spend, that's why they ran a fire dump, and it instantly gives you, was it 3?
Yeah. That's why.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't really like it. Everybody knows that's coming, so you Infernal, and then people run. So I can stagger my cooldowns. I don't need a Dark Soul with my Infernal, whereas
So-
Supremacy Locks, like, they have to.
But at the same
Even
time,
with,
you could then use Infernal Knowledge just for stun, but also make people waste their CDs and their defensives to run away, thinking, ah.
Yeah.
Well, in the meantime, they're rotting to your
can flag.
fire hots or your fire dots.
Yeah,
Roaring
because people see
Blaze.
Infernal out and they start running, and it's like, all right,
Yeah.
I just won't pop Dark Soul.
okay.
Whereas Supremacy Locks kind of have the Dark Soul with their Supremacy.
Yeah, you do.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that's true.
Or you want to, at least. I mean, you don't have to, but
Right.
you're missing out on that talent
Yeah.
if not.
So
Yeah.
as a fresh like not mastery stat, or sorry, I keep saying mastery, as a not haste stacked warlock, would you still want to stick with Roaring Blaze, or do you say Roaring Blaze only becomes more advantageous if you have kind of like what Gerissar was getting at a certain break point, or because you have just so much haste, now it's like, okay, this is definitely better.
I think it works even without the haste. I haven't really
Okay.
tried it, but it'd probably still work without the haste. But if you have a lot of mastery, you can get some crazy RNG bolts
yeah.
with Supremacy.
Yeah.
The reason I don't hit the big bolts is because I don't have the mastery to really RNG it up super high. But I mean, even without it, like, I can get some pretty big bolts depending on how my mastery procs without even running Supremacy. So that's why I don't even run it, because my bolts already hit pretty hard without.
Okay. And I think there's also that part that we were talking earlier. There's the other piece of the Azarite traits, which we haven't even gotten to yet, which also play into this as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's get into the last line here, and get into. I mean, so we ever said Dark Soul like what 8 times in the last minute? So I'll read the line, but I think we already know what the answer is. So you got Soul Conduit. So every soul shard you spend has a 15% chance to be refunded. Okay. Channel Demon Fire. So launches 15 bolts of fell fire over 3 seconds at random targets affected by your immolate within 40 yards. Each bolt deals 16% of fire spell power as fire damage to the target and 7% of spell power fire damage to the nearby enemies. And Dark Soul Instability, where you infuse your soul with unstable power, increasing your critical strike chance by 30% for 20 seconds. Mind you, we realize that critical strike is halved in PvP.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
Crit
it's still really
directly
strong.
buffs Chaos Bolt.
Yeah.
Which
So
is why.
30% stronger Chaos Bolt that then crits. So yeah. I think the math checks out there.
I kind of wanted to try out Channel Demon Fire. Can you guys see what does the cooldown say for it?
On Demon Fire,
Because it's green, so that means
it's
25
25
seconds.
second cooldown.
Yeah.
oh,
25
mine says
seconds.
17.
There you go.
Wow.
Wait, I wonder if I might need to try a Channel Demon Fire build since I have so much haste. Like, reduce the cooldown.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that, so I wonder if I like.
But my question
Minus
then
max.
is Demon Fire smart?
Because
could
it
be.
does say channeled. So I mean, what's
Yeah, it
the
is a
how long
channel.
do you channel the ability?
I don't
3
know.
seconds.
3 seconds.
3 seconds.
Yeah, it
Oh,
says
where's
it.
a mob? I want a mob. Here we go.
Says-
Channel.
Yeah, wow. I can get it down to like
Over 3
12
seconds, yep.
12-second cooldown. That might actually be a pretty good line build. I'd have to try it maybe. Now I have something new to try tonight.
There you go.
Go.
But my fear though is it's random targets. So if
No, it's based on your immolate. So I remember it used to be that people used to play it in, was it Legion?
Yep.
I think it was Legion, yeah. So what you'd have to do, you had to only have one immolate out, because if you had
Mhm.
multiple immolates out, it would split and hit everything with immolate. So if you want the most single target damage, you'd have to only have one immolate.
Okay. So if you only have one immolate, then all the bolts go to that one target.
Yeah, so then they'll all hit that one.
Oh, that's tasty. That's tasty. Because I was concerned, like if you had, if it went ran, obviously, let's say you did a cataclysm. Now, if all the targets in the arena had immolate, and then you drop that, and something was CC'd, it may break the CC. Right, actually, but I guess that's just knowing what you're doing. So situational awareness.
Well, I mean, most CCs will clear off dots.
Actually,
yeah. So launches 15 bolts of fellfire over 3 seconds at random targets afflicted by your immolate within 40 yards. Each bolt deals. So that would include line of sight.
I think it actually does hit more damage the more targets. Because I'm testing it on a dummy. My channel time is actually lower too. So my channel time takes like 1.5 seconds.
So you get 15 bolts in 1.5 seconds?
Yeah, I'm doing it on the dummies. It did like 100k damage total.
Oh man, that is sweet.
You'll need to pop over and find the PvP dummy.
True.
But that's still that's still pretty good.
I might have to mess with it. I mean, losing Dark sucks, but
I mean, especially because how long do you think a full cycle for build up Chaos Bolt?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, and how much damage do you normally get out of a Chaos Bolt?
It can be pretty good.
Yeah,
upwards like 80 to 100k.
Oh yeah.
So 80 to 100k, and then how much are you getting off of just one Channel Demon Fire?
You just got 100.
Yeah, it was like around 100. Single target looked about the same.
Yeah.
I want to test like how it is for Shard Gen though.
Okay.
That'll be interesting.
All right. Doing mass live on radio. Love it.
Hey, we are technical about this stuff.
Yes, we are.
And now my talents are all set and ready to go.
Not your PvP ones.
Until
that's true. Now we got the PvP talents we got to review.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of PvP, so we have Curse of Fragility. Do I need to go through what all these actually are, or can I just list them off?
I think we go over the highlights, right?
Yeah. So
my question is are the Warlock PvP talents very interchangeable, where you're constantly needing to grab to fit the mix, or is it of a nature that these are just the best PvP talents that we have, and so you're going to run them 99% of the time?
Yeah, there's only a few talents you really play and change.
Yeah, good point.
So like the main one I would say is no one ever specs out of Focus Chaos. Like that's a must.
So what is that? What does Focus Chaos do?
So Chaos Bolt damage is increased by 65%, but you can no longer strike additional targets by Havoc.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we use for the big single target Chaos Bolt damage. It hits harder than it does in PvE because of that talent. So everybody is spec'd into that no matter what.
Yep. All right, so there's that one. What's the other go-tos then?
And then my default loadout is I'll be spec'd into Entrenched in Flame, which is can flag roots the target for 3 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And it also doesn't break on damage.
Now, what was the first one again? I got Entrenched in Flame. So the first one was the
Focus Chaos.
Focus Chaos. Where are you?
Yeah.
It's the Chaos
It's the
Bolt
top
one.
one.
Yeah.
Focus Chaos. Okay, cool. Okay.
Yeah. And
so that leaves the last one to kind of let you pick and choose which one you're going to use for the particular matchup you're facing.
Not really.
Kind of.
Really?
It can be very, very situational. But my last one, default, if I can play it, I like to play Cremation.
Okay.
Because I'm playing the Conflag build, so I have my haste is reducing the timer on it. So Conflag deals 3% of the target's max health if they have Immolate on them. So that's pumping as well.
Yeah.
Not fun when you're fighting a Conflag lock with haste.
No. But if you don't have that, like I prefer well, it depends, but I like to use Nether Ward, especially if I'm up against a mage, fire mage. Reflecting back.
Options.
What's the other one?
So I would say Nether Ward is going to be one of the options that you're going to want to pick, and you could also play Fellfisher. Some people play Fellfisher.
Yeah.
If you can guarantee they're going to get stuck in it.
Well, but you can do that as well because you have Entrenched Flame, right?
Yeah, you can root them in it too. Yeah. But if you have like a stunner and they get stunned and then you drop a bolt on them,
Mm-hmm.
and the Fellfisher drops and they're stuck in it and they get the Mortal Strike.
So if anybody's wondering, Fellfisher, when you hit somebody with a Chaos Bolt, it drops a poop pile on their feet about 5 yard wide and slows them by 50%. And all healing they get is reduced by 25%.
Nice little mortal strike there.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I just saw a question, and I was just going to lead into this. Is why not Demon Armor? Where'd Demon Armor go?
Oh yeah, that's because I'm using Demon Armor from the Essence Conflict and Strife.
Yeah. Which gives you their 4th talent.
Yeah, there's like a little hack with Conflict that I don't know if many people know about it, but you just abuse the versatility doubling, because when you do crowd control effects, the versatility from Conflict and Strife doubles, and it gives like 980.
Mm-hmm.
So you just use that to gain your Demon Armor, and you get like become super tanky. And then it also saves you a PvP talent because you don't really have many like slots there available.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Okay.
Wow.
So I think that's really important there, because I know like for a while there I didn't know about that, and I was running Conflict and Strife, but I still had Demon Armor. Or no, sorry. I know I wasn't running Conflict. I had Demon Armor as my talent. I was running a different talent. I was running a different main for my my Heart of Azeroth. And then when then I moved Conflict and Strife over to main, and then I had Demon Armor for my main for my PvP talent.
Okay. Yeah, we used to play like that. Like we would play Vision Major, but I don't know. I think the versatility is just too strong.
Yeah,
because I lack it on my lock because I'm running haste, so I need the survivability and also the damage it gives.
Yeah. Okay. So there's a talents, PvP talents. Is there anything else in the PvP talent tree that we haven't talked about that is also more situational? I mean, so there's Curse of Fragility, which makes other targets, I think it's less health. There's the Curse of Tongues, where cast times take longer. The Curse of Weakness, where they hit weaker for a short period of time. The Casting Circle, which puts a thing on your feet, so then your cast times is better.
Sounds very arcane mage.
Yeah.
You're immune to interrupts in it, but it takes it off of your wall.
Okay. That's handy, but are you really standing in one place long enough to use it?
You could use it, but there's a lot of classes that can like manipulate it. Like you'll just get death gripped off of it, or ropped off of it, or something will happen.
They just stun you on top of it. Arena.
Fair.
Yeah. So it'll just become annoying, and then you lose the Aura Mastery on your wall. It's hard to like. PvP talents are so crucial for Destro. You don't want to kind of waste it on the chance that you're using this talent and someone does something kind of minor.
Fair.
But I mean, maybe there's a matchup where they don't have Ring of Peace or Death Grip, and you can get value out of it. I don't really have a problem getting cast off, so that's why I don't run it, because we have multiple.
Well, and I mean, with so much haste,
it's harder for people to kick me, so that's why I do it.
All
right. So sorry, yeah, and I said that wrong. I said that it improved your power, but it doesn't. It just makes you immune to things.
Yeah, it's just an Aura Mastery basically.
Okay.
And you don't really get the opportunity to use any of the curses really as Destro, because like I said, the other PvP talents are just too strong. You can't sacrifice one, so no one's like running tongues.
What about Essence Drain? When you heal yourself with Drain Life, the target deals 5% reduced damage to you.
Yeah,
and it stacks.
No way.
No? Okay.
Because like you don't want to be pressing Drain Life. You're gonna get it's very like minor situations where you'd be pressing it to even gain value, but enough for that talent specifically. Like you better off just playing the others, because you get absorption based off of your damage done. It's better off to just sit there doing damage. Like when you're getting destroyed as a Destro Lock, the best thing to do is just sit there and turn around and just turret their face, because you'll gain Soul Leech. Your best defense is your offense as a Destro Lock. So you're gonna
I love that. I love that. I'm gonna do damage to you and save myself.
I mean, there's been times where I'm dying and I have to Dark Soul, so I get a big giant bolt and I get like a 70k Soul Leech absorb.
What?
Oh wow.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Soul Leech is probably, or Dark Soul is probably your best defensive because they just run, even if you're almost dead.
Yep. They're terrified of that because the bolts will smack.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to mess with that.
What about Bane of Havoc?
Yeah, I've used it like once versus a Death Knight. Because I was playing like some crazy Fiki Supremacy build, just dropping it down on the DK with all his pets and incinerating once and pretty much topping myself off of charge, and then Rain of Fire dumping, stacking up Supremacy to one-shot the DK.
Wow.
I think it worked like one time, but it's super Fiki.
I love it.
It increases the cooldown of your Havoc too. And it drops it in a one area on the ground. If they move out, then you can't have it coil. But you can coil like 50 things if they're standing in it, which is pretty funny. You just see like 20 coils just launch out of your body and everything that's standing in the Havoc. Yeah.
What's the heal like on that then? Like,
well, it only goes based on one. Which
oh, really?
Coil is always going to be a 20%. Yeah.
Oh, it sucks.
You don't get.
I mean, that would have been hilarious if it was like a 200% heal. Like,
yeah. There you go. Oh, I'm almost dead, and
top.
There we go.
Okay. All right. So obviously there's some situational stuff. There's some really fun stuff there, but again, it's kind of like the go-to 2 plus 1 or 2 for gameplay, what you want to do. But okay, traits. What Azerite traits what random RNG stuff do we want to try to put into our gear?
So, for my setup, you're talking about like the Azerite traits, right?
Yeah. So Flashpoint, Chaotic Inferno, yada yada yada.
Yeah, I'm running triple Flashpoint just so I can get the most haste out of my Emily-Ts.
Yep.
You gotta have the triple Flashpoint, and then my rule that I do is 1 crashing, just because crashing got changed and it reduces the cooldown on Inferno by 15 seconds. So we just use it for that. Okay. And then the next 2 are just like a free for all. So my head's a PvP head, so it has Rolling Havoc, which is like kind of okay. It's not the best because a lot of people decurse it, but I know a good one you could get is off of the new PvE gear in the raid, which is, what is the name of it?
The Heart of Darkness?
Yeah,
secondary stats are increased by 72.
Yes.
While player corruption is over 25.
Yeah. So you run over 25 corruption. If you can get double Heart of Darkness, that's probably going to be ideal. You buff all your secondary stats because they're such high value in PvP compared to like main stat.
Well, especially if you're running haste build, which is a secondary stat, and now your corruption just increases it more. Like
that'll buff it a huge amount if you have 2 of those.
Oh my!
But also bursting flare is an option too. I'm running bursting flare because that'll buff my mastery since I'm lacking a bit.
Yeah, that seems to be a very solid. It's a flat DPS increase, right?
Yeah, either bursting flare or there's also another one, the one that procs you an instant incinerate. Forgot the name of it.
Oh shoot! I know what you're talking about. Crap. I can't remember it right now. Shoot.
I don't have it on any of my gear actually. Weird.
Yeah, but I know the one you're talking about. I had it for a while. It's so you have a what is it? So there's a trait where I think it's
also chaos shards. I've seen people run chaos shards where you have a chance to like randomly give yourself a soul shard.
Okay.
Oh, it's Chaotic Inferno. Chaotic Inferno. That one's decent. I ran it a little bit.
So Chaos Bolts deal damage and have a 25% chance to make your next Incinerate instant.
Yeah.
So that one's interesting because I noticed that when I was running it, when you do your conflag and you get your next 2 Chaos Bolts or Incinerates are faster cast times. Because it's Incinerate, it doesn't eat one of those charges.
Oh, really? Yeah. So since it's instant, it doesn't eat your conflag stack. Yeah. It's pretty nice. I mean, it's not like crazy. Like Incinerate's not doing a whole lot of damage.
Yeah. But it's nice to get. It's a freebie,
but it's it feels nice to just have like an instant press button.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
quick.
I'm sure.
I mean, it triggers GCD, but it's still it's a freebie.
I would probably rather have Heart of Darkness is going to be key. I'd say you're going to want that one for sure.
What was that?
Corruption level over.
So it's like Fire Blast.
Oh yeah.
It's like having Fire Blast, you know? Yeah. It's so nice.
The freebie Incinerate?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of. It's Incinerate's so weak. Not impactful at all.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's the crappy thing about it.
It's kind of up there. It's not quite as bad as what's it, the Frostbolt? But
Yeah.
It's like an unbuffed Ice Lance then.
Yeah. Yeah. Ice Lance. Exactly. Yeah. The only thing Incinerate has going for it is that it builds shards when you cast.
Okay.
Or when you hit. That's all.
Yeah.
All right. So those are the main. I'm just trying to think. I don't see anything else on the trait side.
That's pretty much it.
So what about the essences?
Yes.
Essence.
What
we
do
said
I need to
Conflict and
farm
Strife.
to make?
Yeah. So I mean, there's a couple builds actually. I always toy with it a lot. Like my standard layout right now is normally Conflict and Strife 100% if I need Demon Armor. Even sometimes if I don't even need it, it's still good because of the versatility doubling. Breath of the Dying Miner, you're gonna always want that. You need Vision of Perfection Miner for the Infernal reduction. And then the last one is kind of up in the air. I currently I'm playing Lucid.
Okay.
For the chance that I proc, refund 50% of the soul shard spent. So you can get some extra bolts if you refund on your bolts. Yeah.
That sounds pretty juicy.
It's like that one, and I used to play Focusing Iris for the haste instead of it.
Mm-hmm.
Those are like the two that I really swap out. None of the others.
So what's proccing you up to 100+% haste in combat?
Well, I have
your corruption.
Flashpoint. I have a lot. I mean, Flashpoint is doing that. I have triple Overwhelming as my minor.
So what again was Flashpoint?
Flashpoint was the Azurite, the trait on the gear.
Okay, got it.
And then Overwhelming is also one of the minor
overwhelming
ones.
Power. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah,
okay.
big haste. And then I have Racing Pulse, which is corruption on my gear. And then what else? The Reverse Entropy.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
For another 15%.
Oh, and I have Vita. So Vita proc.
Oh, very nice. So you run Vita. What other trinket do you run?
On use. I have a 475 socketed badge, so I run that.
There you
go.
It gives me giant conflags during my Dark Soul.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's valuable. That's man.
And then I guess Quick Nav. I have Quick Nav on my weapon to add into the haste.
Okay.
Makes sense.
And that's all my procs, I'm pretty sure.
Nice.
Here's a question. The 15% increase that Reverse Entropy does, is that based off of your base haste, or is that based off of current haste? So if you proc some other things, does that increase overall, or like is it multiplicative, or is it just off of base?
I don't actually know how it works. I'm not sure if it's just like flat, gives you 15% whatever you see in on your character pane. I haven't tested it.
I'm betting it's probably just base.
Yeah, it will just give you whatever 15% is in haste value.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is, I mean, still really good.
That's
a lot of haste.
Okay. All right.
Oh, and then we were talking still on the essences because I didn't cover up. There will be the instance where, so those are usually the ones that I'll play with, and then I'll swap them around if I have to. Like if I don't need demon armor, I'm fighting another caster. Yeah, I've noticed Breath of the Dying Major has been.
Oh yeah,
it's been nice.
Oh my
Breath of the Dying Major is going to be the most consistent major if you don't need conflict, and then also Vision Major is pretty fun to get the random infernal procs. With my haste build, my infernals do a lot because the immolation aura ticks faster.
Yeah,
so it's fun to troll around with that. But the only problem is it doesn't seem to proc too much. I thought infernals would proc more, yeah, especially with my haste. It's very rare. Like sometimes you'll get super lucky and have 3 out, and then other times not a proc for a minute. So that one's really situational. But if it comes at the right time, it's nice. Breath is always consistent because you know when it's going to happen because you use it.
Mm-hmm.
So silly question: is there a chance to have 2 infernals at the same time? So drop an infernal and have another.
You could have like 3, maybe 4. That's the funny thing about it. Like if you get RNG on your side, you're gonna have 4 infernals all cleaving with immolation aura, generating shards for you.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, that's why it was fun to play that one. But I think they nerfed the proc rate on it. It seems.
Ah, that sucks. All right. Well, I mean, I'm all for having choices. I'm not. Nothing feels more bad than just click it and forget it. Yeah. I don't know. I don't see a problem with 6 Infernals on my side. You know?
Yeah.
No.
It's like you suddenly started playing Demonology as a Destruction Warlock.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'd love for those to actually be Fel Lords instead of Infernals. Can you imagine?
Yeah, because for Demo, just procs the Tyrant.
Yeah.
Save it for the one thing you would change.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So now
yes.
I think we've covered the essences.
Yep.
And so the direction I want to go is, so what classes do you want to play with as Destruction? What are you really looking for?
Well, my personal favorites, I think right now, I really like playing with a Fire Mage. You're saying classes, right? Other classes to play with?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. What specs are you looking to play with?
So Fire Mage is my favorite.
Yeah. So
yeah, I like Fire Mage. I played a little bit of Double Warlock. Double Warlock seems really good. I hate playing with melee. It makes your job as a Warlock way harder, and it's not fun because people will just train you and exploit you. Well, is
it just because you're the squishy target at that point?
Yeah. Well, my build makes me a little bit more squishy, but also you're just like the training dummy, and you're open up to all the interrupts. No one else is soaking the interrupts for you, so it's all you, and it's no fun.
Okay, and so one of the reasons why you like the Fire Mage so much is that he's throwing those juicy pizzas.
Yeah, the G-Pies.
Pyros, and those are getting thrown out, and so they have this terrible choice that they need to make, whether they stop the Greater Pyro or whether they stop the Chaos Bolt.
Yep, exactly.
And so it just puts them in a very hard place that they need to pick correctly. And
there's too many spells for them to kick.
Yeah.
Like we're spamming out Fears, Sheeps, and G-Pies, and Chaos Bolts, and people just get overwhelmed, especially with our haste.
Mm-hmm.
It's like our strategy in mind. Just trigger the enemy.
Yeah. Now, from my experience, I find Druid to be a fantastic combination for your healer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Druid's one of my favorite.
I think really Monk would be. I think Monk would be a really good combination too, and we've seen a lot of monks lately in arenas. Mm-hmm. They're doing very well.
Yeah, Monk anything is going to be good.
But
yeah, I haven't tried too much Monk actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it could probably work. Cocoon is so strong.
Oh yeah.
Well, and especially with Ring of Peace, if you line that up right, that you're getting ready to, if you're against that melee cleave team, and they're getting ready to cleave you, and you're like all set to really fire off your Chaos Bolts and go big, then Ring of Peace on top of you pushes everybody back, and then it's like, all right, turret time.
Yeah, exactly.
So okay. But yeah, no, I mean, Gerissar and I have done Warlock, Druid in 2s, and we tended to have pretty good success with that, simply for the fact of just the additional Cyclone helping out with the fears and not sharing a diminishing return. Really made it so that we could set him up to just single target one person and blow them up rather successfully.
Oh yeah, no, that comp's one of my favorite 2s comps actually.
Well, and Druid healing was always so strong. It still is very strong.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kind of weak against Purge and stuff, but overall it's doing pretty well.
Yeah.
No complaints.
Nope. I mean, if a shaman wants to waste his mana on purging hots instead of doing other things, sure.
Yeah. They seem to reduce the mana cost, though. They can kind of spam it a lot.
Yeah, they did. I guess it doesn't really matter because they don't really heal anyways. They just go into Ghost Wolf form and run around, and everybody heals up from that. So.
Pretty much.
I wish I could make the one thing I would change about Mistweaver monks, not warlocks.
We'll get there eventually.
I guess we will. Maybe it'll lose its its flavor by then, but nonetheless.
Yeah.
So when you go into the arena, what is your concept around playing? So if we're saying the fire mage, what are you trying to accomplish? Is it just simply that you guys are going to set up in the deadly triangle where you have the healer at one point and the two casters at the other point?
Yeah. It's something like that. Like it depends on the comps and stuff. So for the most part, we're planting. We're trying to land as many G-Pies and Chaos Bolts as possible while controlling the enemy and not letting them do anything. Just getting stuck in fears of sheeps into bolts, setting them up, and then into the stun. That's pretty much the general play style that we go for.
Okay.
But it depends. Comp.
Yeah. You got to play around the comp that's in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any time... so you talked briefly about the, dropping the portal and then going in behind the pillar and then portaling back out. Is there actually any time that it's worthwhile to chase around a pillar? Or is that like a don't even go there, bro? Like just...
it depends. You don't want to do it without your team. So we set up this formation where like we have our one caster on one side of the pillar and the one on the other.
Yeah.
So they're in that corner, and if they're forced to be in someone's line, and we just plant there and stay there and just keep casting on them.
While you leave your healer with line of sight on both of you.
Yeah, healer's way in the back, so he can't get swapped to. And then as soon as one of the melee goes to one of the casters, the other caster kind of just pulls back, gets in line, and turrets him right there. That's like the whole mentality of pinning them on down to the pillar. Once we get a team in that position, then it's pretty much over for them because they're just getting cleaved. They're getting cleaved. I'm getting katas and shadow furies, and then the infernal drops and it's over.
It's good night.
Yeah.
Nice.
There you go.
Don't want to be in that position.
That sounds so simple, and yet when I watch it, like when I'm in it, it's so chaotic, and even when I watch it, it just seems still so chaotic. Like just blows my mind.
Yeah.
So I want to put you on the spot here, David, because I know you talk about it fairly often. What? See, you talk about these chaos bolts. How do you set those up? Because you talk frequently about the amount of gains you had from doing a focus chaos bolt.
Yeah, I've gotten a ton of value out of focus value because the healers, like, they're not paying attention. You sneak one. My little trick, I like to do it on like warriors. Let's say warriors DKs if they have AMS. Warrior still has reflect. I'm right there in his face, and he thinks I'm casting a bolt on him, but his healer's peeking. I'm actually casting the bolt on the healer. So I get damage. I utilize my damage on the healer, and then I get the warrior's reflect, which is like a win-win situation. So I do that a lot. I could do that with warlocks reflects too. Hunters on feigned death, shadow meld. Like, I juke out a lot of people with that.
Yeah,
makes sense.
But then what was the other question you asked? How to set up a kill?
Sure, yeah. Like, I guess this kind of leads to the whole, like, how do you play the warlock, like, into arena? Like, is it just immolate, conflag, set up for some bolts, maybe drop the infernal when you feel right? Do you wait for a certain go for the infernal, or do you just, like, when you feel that you have enough bolts and you can just get some fatty stuff off?
I've been playing really Mongo lately. I just run in and just confident at what we're gonna do and just drop my cooldowns pretty quickly.
Okay.
Depending on my comp. Unless I'm playing like double warlock, then we're a little patient and we have to kind of strategize a little bit. We don't have the best peels since we all share DR, so we have to peel with our damage.
So from the sound of it, it's saying that you don't really do a whole lot of setup time to build up enough shards that you feel you can unload with Chaos Bolt.
Oh no, with haste build, like I don't need any time. The second I drop Infernal or even double conflag, like I'm maxed and I'm ready to
capped and ready to just go.
Yeah, I don't need any setup at time at all. I mean, I have this cool thing, like I do it in twos a lot, where the reason I play the conflag build is because it's super dirty with Havoc. If you get them to stack, I Infernal them and I'll Havoc, and I can get a double coil and a double conflag and a bolt, and it's just the craziest route ever.
Wow.
Oh.
Well, I guess you got to get the immolates up first. So I get the immolates on both of them, and then the Havoc is cleaving them with four conflags total. So you have cremation, it's putting conflag dot on all of them, and then also the direct conflag dot damage, or the conflag damage, with my on use.
Mm-hmm.
and it's like the scariest rot ever. And they also have the Infernal on their face too. So, and then by that point they're running away, or I one shot them in the opener. I've been able to one shot a lot of 2s teams in the opener that try to stack.
Okay.
That's
do
crazy.
crazy stuff.
So here's my. What about in mirrors? What if you're up against another warlock?
Mirrors. What I've learned actually lately is a lot of the warlocks are playing supremacy in 2s, and I have the significant advantage, especially being a haste build. So I try to pay attention and see, all right, is this guy supremacy build? Is he mastery? I'm gonna cast faster than him, so I just pretty much abuse him. Like I just tease him, smack him around with fears, beat him on all his cast times, and just disarm
Smack him
his.
around a little bit.
Yeah, I use my Infernal Dark Soul as a peel. Like, I know this guy needs to set up his supremacy, or he's not going to do damage. I'll have more damage outside of it because I'm playing Conflag Dot, and then I just.
Well, I'm curious here, real quick. What is the cast time on your fear? So I've got my gear back on. I'm at 17% haste. And so, what's your fear?
Mine is 1.2 without rocks.
Okay, and I'm at 1.5 with the 17% haste. So I mean, if you're,
1.2 without proc.
That's
so you're at 1 second. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's the. If you can see a person, if you're on the ball, you can outcast literally if they push the button first.
Yeah.
You could get the cast off first.
With my procs,
but you have to be on the ball.
0.7 to 0.8. That's my fear cast time in arena.
Jeez.
Wow.
With my flashpoint up, and so yeah, I'm beating everybody out.
I love it.
No one's gonna beat me on a cast.
All right.
Yeah, so that's pretty funny. That literally they could be like, "I'm gonna fear him," and then it's like, "No, I cast fear first. Why is he fearing me?"
Yeah, the warlock tries to chaos bolt me. I just fear. He can't. I fear it. I get shadow fearing him first.
Yeah, why do I need spell lock? You just press fear.
Haste is just such a good PvP stat because being disruptive and interrupting spells is so crucial.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, absolutely.
So here, we didn't talk about this yet, but we kind of alluded to it. There's the different pets. So you have the imp, you have the void walker, you have the succubus, and the fell puppy. So we talked originally that the succubus obviously has the utility of having that taunt, or the be able to incapacitate people, which shares cooldown. Void Walker's useless in this kind of thing. I mean, yeah, it does damage, but it's useless. Then you have your feral puppy for the interrupt, and then you have your imp, which is just raw damage and singe magic.
Yeah, so I pet swap a lot.
Yeah?
Yeah. So with my haste build, my pet casts are really, really fast, so I can whip out an imp if my healer gets trapped or sheeped, and I'll get them ASAP. If we made a mistake and something went wrong.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, I could pull it out in like
even with the shards required to do that?
You can just whip it out whenever you want.
Yeah.
I heard him say that. just whip it out.
Yeah, because it's like
just whip out my imp here.
1.3 second cast time on my pet. I just pull it out. Got to devour him real quick.
Okay.
We'll swap back to the Fell Hunter.
So Fell Puppy for casters?
Mm-hmm. Right. Pretty much playing the Fell Hunter all the time because the Devourer, and you're always going to need the spell lock. Most of the time, there's always going to usually be someone that's casting.
Okay. And just swap to the imp when you need to singe magic off of one of your friends because oops. Okay.
Yeah, if anything goes wrong, I just pull it out real fast.
Okay. And when would you bring out the succubus?
Nah, I pretty much never play succubus.
Really?
I don't need it. I'm not having problems with fears.
Yeah.
Well, and sucking up that diminished return, that does, I imagine, play a little bit into the choice of that particular pet.
I get my fears off anyway, so and they could just kick the pet and then it goes to waste. So I just get really good value out of the Fell Hunter.
Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. All right. How do I kill you?
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think we've got to the point where it's my favorite question.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
How do we counter that warlock there?
Well, you don't.
Warlocks just beat everything. I'm sorry, there's no secret.
That's not true.
I mean, to kill him, you gotta lock down the warlock and not let him cast, really, because you gotta think The second he comes out of a stun, he's going to try to fear you off. He's going to try to coil you, whatever he can do. And then he's going to start
Coil brings a heal.
damage.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's going to start doing damage, and then his Soul Leech. And the Soul Leech is like all the Warlock healing, which makes you...
I mean, so if I'm training you, what do I have to get through to really kill you? You got your Demon Armor, your Coil, your Leech. I mean, it seems like you only have 3 really good defensives.
Yeah. Wall, Coil, Hellstone.
Okay, and Hellstone. There, yeah.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
just like
Forgot the
major
cookie.
ones. Yeah, so you go through those, get the healer and crowd control, and the Warlock could die fairly easy just because Warlock positioning is like pretty predictable. Like they don't, you always know where the Warlock's gonna be. He's stuck, so it's easy to manipulate. Like he's just planted. He's not gonna teleport across the arena and do some Houdini stuff. He's there.
So really, line of sight is how you mess with Warlocks.
Yeah, line of sight is pretty annoying.
Yes.
So,
That's super.
even with your haste build, it seems that if you have a good position with your line of sight, that you're able to nullify you. And so it's about drawing the Warlock into a place where they're not in a good position.
Yeah, kind of. If you can bait them, but I think most Warlocks are not going to really fall for it. Yeah, they're just really strong and set on their positioning, so they're not going to fall for like that bad positioning stuff. They're always going to draw you out.
A good Warlock. Let's put this out there, guys. A good Warlock, because like I said, I just barely got my tune capped. I'm barely eye level 400. So it's like I'm pretty sure I would get trapped. I would get sucked in.
You'd be the one going behind the pillar alone.
I may have chased around a pillar.
But I have a conflag ready.
Exactly.
I've got 5 shards and my conflags are ready. Let's go, baby.
No, but I mean, the secret to killing a lock is that you just got to stay on them and continue to pressure them, because with Demon Armor and the way Soul Leech works, like the second you get off them, their absorption shield is ramping back up. And then you're gonna have to get in and go through that initial shield before you start touching their HP bar.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
So it's about being able to maintain a steady pressure with interrupts.
Yeah,
is how you kill the Warlock.
Like just straight balls to the wall on the Warlock.
But in the meantime, stop the healer from casting too.
Yeah, you gotta have control on the healer, because if the healer's not going to see that, I don't think.
Now, what's the cooldown on Demon Armor? Where are we at here?
There isn't.
That's Unending Resolve.
That's just a buff.
Yeah.
Unending Resolve is a 3-minute.
Okay, so 3-minute cooldown there reduces damage taken by 40%.
Yeah, it's our and it also allows you to
grants the immunity to. Oh man, dude, that is.
So sometimes what you can do is you can
pop, really hard, huh?
You pop your wall offensively, and then you can free cast your bolts, because then it can't stop you.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so, I mean, you have to make sure you're safe there, because if you do that, then you're waiting 3 minutes. I
mean, so basically that right there is the your Unending Resolve, the cookie that gives a quarter of health. Yeah, no, it's hard to really lock these guys down, isn't it? I mean, they do have quite a bit of tools at their disposal to handle a kill.
You're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go ahead and wrap this thing up then. So Maldiva. Maldiva, what is the one thing you would change for Destruction Warlock if you could wave a magic wand and change anything currently with the way they play?
Oh man, that's a tricky one. Because I mean, overall the playstyle is like, it's kind of decent, kind of okay. I guess the mobility thing is like a big issue. If we could have port baseline, I think that would really change a lot of things.
Yeah, I'm sure it would.
Not having to be like, all right, am I gonna fight this melee cleave that's just gonna spite and I'm stuck there and I can't port out of it, and then I have to think, all right, do I need to spec out a coil like my super good defensive just to be able to escape it? So if I could just have a baseline, it'd be pretty nice.
Okay.
And then the class is like in a crazy spot, but then it'd probably be too strong because they'll just be able to port out away from the scary threats and whatever.
It's not about what's fair. This is not what this is about. This is about just
this is about.
I'm sure it can still be fair. Like, come on, look at Windwalker. They have port, and look how strong they are.
Yeah,
Their defensive cooldowns and offensive. I just miss offensive porting. You know, like a team is running for my Infernal. I'm just like, surprise! I teleported on top of you.
Yeah.
I just want to be that guy, but I can't. Port in a coil.
Windstead.
All right.
I have one. Yeah. What do you want?
You know, and this is where I'm so new to the Warlock playstyle. I have to say that when I push the Chaos Bolt and it goes off and just smashes into something, it feels really good.
Yes.
Feels really good. So I would have to say that I would like to see some kind of, you know, if your target is stunned, insta-cast your first Chaos Bolt. I think that would insta-cast the first Chaos Bolt. Yeah.
Oh,
you
boy.
know, a little bit of Palm Pyro.
Yeah, maybe
You know.
maybe if we're getting trained, we have a chance to get a proc that makes Chaos Bolt instant.
Yeah, well, I mean,
We
my
used to
thing
have
is
that
that I like
Why not?
I like the setup playstyle. You know, I was a Frost Mage for the longest time. I rolled Shaman for a good long bit. I really enjoyed Disc Priest healing, and I love the setup playstyle. And so being able to get a good solid stun and follow that up immediately with something, and then starting into my next cast. Because that is the one thing that I dislike about the Destruction Warlock is just how long the cast time for Chaos Bolt is. I feel like I'm sitting there forever. Yeah, of course. I need more haste.
That's why you go the haste build.
I'm sitting there for just so long. And I mean, I'm 2.6 second cast right now on my Chaos Bolt. And I just feel like a sitting duck. And if I could set up with a stun and then get that free Chaos Bolt, you know, let it cast all the shard, you know, cost all the shards you want, but to be able to get that stun and then just bam, drill them with a Chaos Bolt and then push that button again and watch the cast bar fill up as they're just like, oh crap, I've already gotten hit by one of these things. I'm going to get hit by another one unless I do something really, really quick. So a pop of the trinket, you know, run for line of sight or something. But that just seems like it would be a very fun thing to have. You know, is that if you set up a stun, you get a instant cast on that target that is stunned.
Ooh, okay.
So,
I like where that went.
Gerissar, how about you? You're the one who's played more Warlock than I have.
Yeah. I would like some interaction with Demon Armor. I would like, be it spend a shard, do where you build up. I think shards might actually work because you're already building shards anyways, right? But be able to on use turn demon armor into like thorns, so your demon armor suddenly like gets spiky, and then it reflects
Infernal,
damage
you
back.
mean?
No,
Like
no, demon
flaming?
armor.
Yeah, no, I understand, but fit the theme a little bit better. You just light yourself on fire.
Like, you press it, and these spirits circle around you and damage enemies as they walk through them.
Sure. So yeah. So be it. Just like you know the Frost Death Knight with the with the AOE Frost, or maybe even more like you see, what was the
Well, have you guys played Dota 2?
Yeah.
I haven't. No.
Nobody?
But I'm just thinking like you know you pop
twice.
you pop a shard and all of a sudden like you just kind of flex and all of a sudden there's a whole bunch of like bony Bellfire spikes come out of you.
Yeah.
And then like something's hitting
hero
you and they hurt themselves. Yeah,
There's a
Remorseless
hero in
Winter.
Dota 2
Thanks.
that has an
Thanks,
ult
bro.
like that.
Yeah.
Sorry, pardon me.
There's a hero in Dota 2 where it has an ult where I think would fit kind of like what you're saying. The Death Prophet.
Okay.
Her ultimate would be
Just
pretty
something like
sick,
that. Something that makes Demon Armor more interactive, but allows you to do something. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
So, I've been thinking about this a little bit. I don't know how I feel about it, but I'm gonna roll with it. So, one of the things that and this is something that I feel like you guys are good at this, like, is I pitch an idea and then you come up with something that's like a spin off of that idea, and I'm like, yeah, that's what my idea is. But Oh, it's a little troll, so I guess Maldiva got scared away. But so, what I would do, it's rather troll. I want there to be like a certain balance that the warlock has to take between chaos and order. All right, and so a chaos bolt is going to introduce more chaos. So I want there to be a chance that either your chaos bolt could hit a random target, stacking with increased cost as chaos becomes higher, and you have other ways of mitigating chaos as a warlock. But I want to see maybe something like that where there's some kind of like balance that has to be maintained behind chaos bolt, and I'd like to see just a flat damage buff off with that too.
That does sound kind of interesting, that Chaos Bolt will just randomly attack something that you're in combat with because it's a Chaos Bolt.
Yeah, and if you spam like the third Chaos Bolt, you have a chance of like one-shotting somebody, but it also could hit your Mistweaver monk.
Ooh.
Oh, so like friendly fire.
Yeah.
If
your chaos gets too high, right? So,
oh gosh.
Right? It's almost like corruption, in a sense, but it's more class specific,
If that's the case, could you cancel and then cancel it midair? So if you see it going the wrong target,
I don't know.
That might be silly. So Andallyn's idea is that Chaos Bolt is truly chaotic, and so whenever you cast it, there's a chance that it will randomly target another thing that you're in combat with.
Not necessarily. It's based off of how
increased
much
damage.
How much you're casting something that's a chaos school, right? So like a chaos bolt would obviously build more chaos. So it's a tertiary resource essentially.
Interesting.
I like it. I actually like that idea. I like the more chaos bolts I cast, the more chaotic they get, the more random targety they get,
and the more damage they do. Yeah, exactly. More of a chance of doing,
All right. Well, Maldiva, I understand you want to go ahead and duck out for a little bit, and we really appreciated you coming in.
Yeah.
Been fantastic talking with you. We'll go ahead and finish up the news. It's been an absolute pleasure. If you could just let everybody know how they could get a hold of you before you duck out.
Yeah, for sure. So I currently stream full-time now on Facebook. So it's facebook.com/MaldivaPvP. And I'm also on Twitter at MaldivaWow. And my YouTube is Maldiva PvP. As well as sometimes Twitch, which is just Maldiva.
Sometimes.
It's hard. I stream in multiple places.
Remember the other night
you follow you,
I was like, what's going on?
I know. It was like, why is this guy on Twitch now? He's on Facebook. What the heck? Instagram Live next? Like,
If only there was a way that you could set it up that you could like stream to all of them without the other ones knowing that you're streaming.
Yeah, there's actually a service like multi-stream or something, but I don't want to.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exclusivity clauses have something to say about that.
This guy streaming every platform on the internet.
Yeah,
could do that, but
I've heard of that. It's not easy, but
you don't want to break their rules.
No, exactly. Well, again, like I said, thank you very much. I know, really appreciate what you brought here, and I know you got to get going because you have other responsibilities. So really appreciate.
Responsibility.
Yeah.
Thanks for spending this. What are we up to now? Almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
We're up there. Well, thank you so much, Maldiva. Always a pleasure to chat with you. You have a wonderful rest of your evening. And we'll go ahead and jump into the next section of the news.
Yeah, thank you guys. So the camera.
All right.
It's just more work for Andallyn, which is never that bad a thing.
Make it work.
You got it. All right.
Thanks, buddy.
Cool. Thank you guys. Have a good night.
You too.
Cheers, buddy.
See you, bud.
Yeah, cheers.
And let's see how badly this hurts Twitch.
And broken.
I'm looking at Twitch to see who breaks. That's acceptable. That's acceptable.
Having none of us.
I don't know.
I was on screen. I was on screen there.
I see nothing.
Now you've changed it. You've changed it now. You should have just left it as the 4. My screen was cut in half, and that was fine.
Yeah.
It was my better half anyway.
Yeah.
Your better half is than nothing. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, the less of me there is around, the better off things are usually.
Usually.
All right.
Well, that's unfortunate. It's unfortunate you can stick around for the last little bit of this, but I get he has things he has to do, and
yep.
Foods.
But hey, we life drained him dry of everything that we needed to.
Really, life drain? No, it's more of a soul
life,
drain. Drain soul.
It's drain life.
Drain soul.
I'm literally looking at the spell on my cast bar right now. It's drain life.
Drain soul is the affliction version. It's better.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we were talking destruction, so don't you go try and change our topic now.
Drain soul actually was pruned. It's coming back though.
Okay.
I can't wait for.
Yeah, it used to.
I know we're off topic right now. We're just messing around, waiting until Andallyn gets this sorted out. But the affliction builds, the way affliction plays over on Shadowlands, is fun.
Yeah.
It gets the shard spenders get a little spammy, but it's fun.
And that is one thing that I wish we could have talked to him more about, was the future of how Warlock is going to look in Shadowlands. And maybe we'll have to focus on some shows of what to expect PvP wise from the new tunes that are coming out. So we'll have to
and I know that's part of it's one of the projects over there at Craft Radio, where I was doing the quick looks at the different talents and everything, see how that plays out. But it's very early. The talents are still being tweaked. The PvP talents haven't even been touched. So you're seeing like the first one I did was Death Knight, and I'm going through and I read all the talents, all the abilities. I'm like, oh, Lynchborn, and I went through all the talents. I hit Lynchborn. I'm like, wait a minute. Oh, they're the same. Okay, so I just recorded something for no reason. Okay. Yeah. Celebi. But it's interesting. So right now I think it's more just kind of gameplay. How do things feel? How do the abilities feel? Does that ability that they added back in, is it still valuable or no? Is there something else missing? Or is there something new that they added in that is...
No, and it's really important to how does it feel? Because they can change numbers.
Oh yeah,
pretty simply. But if it doesn't feel good to push the buttons, then it's,
Yeah.
Is it worthwhile? No. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
You good?
We should be all set. We should be all set on the Twitch front.
Awesome.
All of our beautiful smiling faces are nice and clear. So
awesome.
We'll wrap up the show.
Yeah.
Just in time to close.
Do we still? Oh, we still have our 3 viewers. Awesome. Hi, Twitch chat.
Wait, is that? That's me.
Oh,
we got 13 viewers. What are you talking about? We've got a good group of guys in here tonight. Guys and gals. I'm not gonna assume I know who's watching.
Hello, everybody. All right.
Maybe my mom. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
I said someday I'd make this gaming thing work. Still not there yet. Someday. Anyway. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the news.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Let's move on.
Wait, is it news or events? Which one are we doing now?
News.
All right. Who ordered up an extra large can of whoop ass?
Yes, thank you, Millhouse, for taking us into the PvP news.
Yes, I love Millhouse. So, okay, so I know we started off. Windstead, you totally botched the news, which is awesome. I appreciate. But like we talked about, the first EU Asia Cup for the Mythic Dungeon International happened last weekend on the 11th of April over at YouTube, live stream gaming there, which is awesome. And I want to give a quick shout out to Method EU for winning. So yeah, You call it, Andallyn. Method took the finals, although they did have a bit of a run for their money.
Yes,
they did. I mean, Perplexed was an amazing team. They did get knocked down by Method EU down to lower bracket, made their whole way back through and came back up and actually did a pretty good thing. The one thing I want to say that was really interesting about this cup was, unlike previous, this time they decided to turn around and make the grand finals one level higher. So it was, I think it was plus 19s the whole way through the tournament, but the grand finals was a plus 20 key.
Nice.
And I think that was interesting that they decided to throw that in. Now, obviously, Method EU winning up to that point in the final on the winners bracket, and then had a gap of time while they played through the lower bracket. While everybody played through the lower bracket, they could then go in and play some plus 20s and get some practice runs, which actually set them up for a bit of a higher level of success than Perplexed. Then, in the meantime, was fighting their way through to come back up. Mm-hmm. So, I know there's some thoughts and questions about that at various locations.
So, who made up the team of Perplexed? I actually didn't get to see it.
Oh, really?
Mm-mm.
Okay. I'm gonna have to bring that up because I don't have that at my fingertips.
I wasn't sure if they were a team that had competed regularly. I mean, I'm sure they are.
So I know they've been there before. So it's Divine Field, Z Monkey, Z-Mock Monkey, A Shine, Swag Shot, and Wolf Disco.
Yeah, I don't know if you knew the team that they competed under before, but maybe that's a Liquipedia question.
Yeah, I think that might be a Liquipedia question. Actually, sorry, hold on. Liquipedia doesn't have Raider. It doesn't have Mythics, MDIs.
Really?
No. They only have AWC over at Liquipedia.
Got it. Unfortunate.
Yeah. So I just happen to know, being part of helping that out, it was decided that we weren't going to do the MDI stuff and replicate exactly what another website was already doing and archiving.
Who is archiving? Who is archiving it?
Raider.io.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they have all the Raider.io has all the MDI stuff since it started.
Okay.
So it seemed redundant to do the same thing over, especially with the limited team that we have over on Liquipedia right now, running the World of Warcraft stuff.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yep. Anyway, speaking of which, I'm going to throw a quick shout out since you brought that up. We are still needing people to help out with the whole Liquipedia stuff. So if you go
that
over to
of love.
Yeah, it is. I do enjoy it. It's a blast.
Yeah,
I like
rewarding.
doing up the brackets, but all right. So that said, the MDI is looking very, very passionate, and I did pop it over to the channel a couple times, and I have to say that YouTube chat, it's different, but it's still lively. It's just it's not quite as spammy as Twitch chat is with all the emotes and everything, but it's still lively.
What was the viewership like?
Around 20,000 when I popped in. 2023.
Not bad.
I didn't look.
Huh. So I don't know if you guys saw. Did you guys see that Flark is running his tournaments again?
Yes.
Oh, good.
I played into one of his RBG groups that he was running with his viewers.
So he's doing community RBGs, but he's also doing his threes tournaments again. But this time he did it differently. He decided that he did a pool, and then he rando picked teams. So you didn't sign up with a team; you just signed up. So there was a couple people where they ended up in. He was actually really surprised by some of the teams. That it was really, really good, and at the same time, it kind of added a little bit of a handicap, where you have these players you're not used to playing with, and now you have to synergize in the middle of a tournament. So he said it was great, and he ended up getting a lot of really good feedback on it. He was really impressed. So he did one on the 4th and the 11th, and as far as I understand, he's going to be running one He's going to be running others in the future. So highly recommend. Again, I said this before, I'll say it again. Go over to his Discord. It's called Synergy. If you need the link for it, you can go back to our previous podcast where we talked to Flark directly. Or if you want to, come over to our technically PvP channel over at the Warcraft Radio Discord. Links for that are in the show notes below. And I will happily share that with you so that you can find your way to that very, very active PvP community. Actually, he does more than just. It's not, there's conversations.
Oh yeah.
There's more than just tournaments, right? So.
Excellent.
Indeed.
All right, and then we got the first drop of Alpha. So that's been happening. A lot of information coming out there. Lots of class updates. And I don't think we're going to go through it here. That would drive this show out to probably 3 to 4 hours.
No, we can't go through all that. I do have a question, though.
Yes.
Out of all the information coming out, what's one thing that's your favorite?
I haven't seen a whole lot on priests and healers yet. So I'm going to reserve my favorite for I want more information on that. As far as I've been following a lot of Preach and Belluar.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Preach has been doing these wonderful little quick looks at the classes. Mm-hmm. And he's done quite a few of the specs so far. And so he's been a great little spot that I've been going through for information. It does. I'm just happy about the unpruning. It seems like they are definitely bringing back some play styles that I'm interested in.
Me too.
And so we'll see how that goes.
The great unpruning, yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I always liked when warriors have Shattering Throw. Like I never play a warrior, but I just think it's good for. It's like having rock paper scissors where like if paper just nothing countered paper, it's just like I don't know, it feels better when there's like an answer to everything. You know?
Yeah.
Whether or not it's good, just feels better.
I think Shattering Throw was something that was pruned that shouldn't have been. I'm glad to see it back.
Same.
I am. I'm happy about a bunch of the abilities that are moving back to general. So they're warrior based. They're warlock based. They're
based.
They
on
pulled a lot
all three specs. Oh my gosh, the frost mage or the mage is getting all 3 arcane blast, fire, and ice back. All 3. That's so big. That's crazy.
Exactly.
That is really crazy.
All right,
Andallyn,
is there something you're happy to see? Anything that popped out?
Nothing too specific. I was just glad to see that a lot of like these abilities that were coming back were like thought over. It looked like there was a lot of mulling over like what they were like, yes, this should be back or this should not be back and here's why. It looks like good conversations were had, and that gives me a lot of hope. Like I don't know. Like I'm kind of someone who likes to look at it from a holistic perspective rather than just saying like, well, personally, I'm not a fan that Alter Time is coming back, or I am a fan that. Yes, holistically. Holinka.
No, Holinka perspective.
It's a little bit of a stretch, but I'll give it to you. Yes.
Oh, you guys.
So, I mean, it's just... I don't really know. I don't really know exactly what I'm going to main in Shadowlands just yet. So, I'm also kind of reserving my judgment and kind of more so taking the advice of, like, well, it looks interesting, Mm-hmm. And a lot of things look interesting. So that's kind of where I'm at,
Yep.
I'm really enjoying the explorative kind of state here of everything looks kind of fun. And Sea-Doo said something about Shadow Priest being incredibly fun to play. And I was like, all right, now I got to look at what Shadow Priest is going on because I ain't seen anything about that. So
Shadow Priests are always fun to play.
Not now.
Okay. Well, they're getting that. They're getting the. I've heard they're getting that. What is that? Surrender to Madness back, where it kills you once it runs out.
That was
that's
really
so fun.
lame. That was really
so
lame.
fun.
Like
It's definitely risk and reward.
It's lame for PvP. I'm not going to dispute that at all.
In the entire
it does
extent,
seem pretty fun.
In the entire extent of everything I've seen ever in World of Warcraft, I've seen it taken once by a Shadow Priest, and it was to troll.
Yep.
Like,
well,
I just think I just think that's silly. I don't understand why. If I want to know why they gave those, I really want to know why they gave that back to Shadow Priests.
I think
Good
it's more
flavor,
PvE.
risk reward.
Yeah.
It's not flavor though. It's bland. No one's gonna take it.
No, people will still take it.
People will definitely take it.
Yeah.
BS.
In
I'm
PvE.
calling BS
In
on
PvE.
that.
No, people will still take it in PvE.
No way.
Oh yeah,
'Cause you
dungeon
can get
running.
res- Yeah.
Dungeon running. Totally.
Mm-mm.
When
So
you
you
have
can
when you have somebody close by that can res you,
Mhm.
why not?
Why would you take that in Mythic Plus? That's 20 seconds off your time. That doesn't make any sense.
I'm not talking about Mythic Plus.
That's dungeon running.
Okay, sure, dungeon running. That's not the only part of PvE. Right?
Do you get penalized 20 seconds, or is that just in the Mythic Dungeon Invitational?
Wait, are you talking about in like Mythic Zeros or something?
Well, even like Mythic Plus, if you die, do you get punished
Absolutely.
on your time?
Absolutely.
So don't die.
I'm thinking more raids.
That's
Raid
literally
content.
what the spell does. It kills
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, raids
I
would be
think-
a great place.
I think the part
What?
is that me and
you. You're making
me
all
and
these
Winstead
claims,
didn't-
but they make no sense.
No. So I think me and Winstead didn't realize that a death actually goes against the meeting time for a Mythic Plus. I didn't realize that. I was thinking just like, sure, dungeon running or raids. I can't see anybody taking Surrender to Madness in a PvP center.
Yeah, PvP.
Because,
No.
no.
It might
Which
be
is
fun
what we're
to
here
troll in
for.
Well,
RBGs.
why is
but-
it usable in raids?
Because
I
it's
still
one
don't
boss,
understand that.
one kill.
No, it's not usable. How is it usable? It's one boss, one kill.
Okay.
So what? You just hold on to it until the boss is 10%, and then you use it, and then you die. That's stupid.
There were ways that
That's
you
a
could
waste.
keep it up for a long,
res by your
long
healer.
time.
No, that's a waste of a battle res. That's
You don't have to
terrible
battle
for your
res.
raid.
You wait until everybody
are,
gets out of-
You are a liability in
Okay,
your
you-
raid if you take that.
Andallyn, I don't think you remember how this thing went because there were people that could keep it up indefinitely.
Was it?
Yeah, you
So-
could
so-
keep it up indefinitely if you were good.
Mhm.
You know, and you just kept it up the entire fight.
Okay.
True.
Now, if you don't keep it up the entire fight, then yeah, you suffer, you die, and you just hurt your raid. But
Yeah.
if
And then
you
you
can
get a
keep
res
it up
after everybody.
indefinitely,
You get a res
yeah,
when
once the
everybody's out
boss
of
is
combat.
dead, you get a res.
Yeah.
No problem. And it's
Anyway.
that high risk, high
No.
reward play style. You know,
I agree. But this is all PvE talk.
I
and
don't
we're
think it's as simple
PvP-centric.
as that. But I'm not. But I don't know what the. I don't really have a response to that. But something because I just my PvE experience is basically, up until now. But like like I've said, I used to play with what's it called? Oh, what's his name? JD. We had JD on. Remember? JD and I would play all the time. He's like, dude, you're literally a two-head if you ever take this talent. And so, I mean, it's just, I don't know. I just base off what I've heard from other people who play Shadow Priest religiously. That's all. So, I don't know.
And
Maybe you're right.
That's
I don't know.
fair. Like I don't know everything. I'm just saying, like off the top of my head, though, I could definitely see. You don't have to
more in
be a
response to
battle
Winstead,
res.
is what's saying. Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, no, I mean, I just remember Amboni having it up full time.
Yeah, I remember that too.
Yeah. So I mean, if it's up all the time and you're able to keep it up, there's no reason not to do.
Like you said, it's risk and reward, right?
Yep.
So I'll say myself personally, one thing that I've really enjoyed is the covenants. The stuff that first came out about the covenants, the abilities, what we're seeing there, the lore.
Yes.
I'm pretty excited about that. And I heard you. Do you have any air left in the room after sucking in that much of a sigh there, Winstead?
Yeah,
That was
I'll
pretty
be
big.
interested to see how they run with the talents.
Mhm.
Because I have no problem with adding another talent tree or talent system or abilities off of these guys.
Sure.
But I know the World of Warcraft player base,
Mm-hmm.
and there is a group of people that'll be like, "Oh, I don't care what what I pick, and it's just going to be blah, 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 blah. This is pretty. Okay, fine. But then there's going to be another group of people that are going to be torn, and I'm in that group where I want to be competitive. And so it's going to force me into a certain group, regardless of how I feel about the story of that particular group.
Possibly.
And that annoys me.
Yeah.
You know, if I could take a reduction in reputation gain from my group when I use a different talent tree, then cool. But, you know, I don't want to be permanently into a group that I'm not really emotionally tied to.
Okay.
Just because I know the ability is going to be the best for the content that I want to play. And then if I do want to change my mind on that content and say, hey, I want to, you know, Andallyn's rating, and maybe somehow I get into a group with him. Doubt it, but, you know, it's a possibility.
Sure.
That, hey, I find a raid group or some people that... Yeah, like I said, doubt it. You know, but... You know, if I get into a raid group and my PvP selected talent isn't the best for raids, well, now I'm at a disadvantage. And now I'm not helping my raid as much as I could be if I was a different group.
True. Fair.
Right.
And I think part of that is definitely, again, back to the risk and reward. I think also if you want to get invited into a raid group with Andallyn, you have to not play Shadow Priest. But that's another conversation.
Apparently.
Yeah, not right now. Not right now.
I think I hear what you're saying, and I think
I'm just kidding. I think
the other problem is the one problem I see with the Covenant talents and the abilities is that what's going to happen is somebody's going to do some number crunching. There's going to be some sims done, and somebody's going to say this one is the best, and then this one, and this one, and then everybody's just going to pick that one that's the best, and they complain if they feel like they have to switch. When I don't think the need to switch is actually there, and I don't think.
And we'll see. Yeah. We'll see. Well, you know, how impactful they are is going to determine whether or not you need to pick them in order to be competitive in whatever field of the game you're doing, whether it's Mythic Plus.
So I'm going to speak back. I'm going to speak back to your thing. Is that you're talking about the player base, and there's only the certain people that actually do the theory crafting. There's only the people that actually do the work into it, and then there's everybody else that is lemmings that copy and paste out of the websites and out of the guides. And what's going to happen is that the 80% is going to copy and pasta because they read a guide that said this one's the best regardless of anything, or this is what their favorite streamer, their favorite player of that class, whatever, is using. And the DPS difference or whatever is going to be like a minuscule amount, which is what's needed for Mythic Plus Race to World First. But the average person doesn't really care. It doesn't matter. But they're going to see it as a one thing, and they're going to hear somebody else complaining about it that they follow, and it's going to become an echo chamber. And that's what I'm concerned about.
Absolutely, and that's a player based concern, not a design concern, because that's literally just how a meta is created. Like you can't stop a meta from being created. You know what I mean? It's like So it's just
But what you can do is give players choice and not penalize them for making choices, because this is going to be a choice that people are going to feel penalized for making.
But if you don't penalize, then why are you giving a power gain on something that is easily swappable?
If there's no penalize,
then
there's no choice.
So why do we have the talent tree? It's just choice that we interswap whenever we feel like it, and there's no penalty for it.
There used to be a penalty.
There's opportunity cost. That's why. That's the whole point of why. So, for instance, like if you're not running a certain build and you're going to get lobbed from a group for that, you're going to say there's no penalty. Absolutely, it's opportunity cost.
Okay, but now, what does it take for me to then? What does it take for me to adapt to the new playstyle? Then I just go to a capital city, change my talents, and I'm set. I'm good. I've now conformed.
Yeah.
But what's going to happen is that you have these people, and we don't know what it takes to change these alliances that we're making. Yes. We don't know what that's going to be like. We don't know how impactful those changes will be and what that's going to affect on the player base. Will you lose all your talents from the tree and then you have to rebuild brand new in this new tree?
Maybe.
Every time you swap? And so even if you've played through Bastion and you've got capped out on the Bastion talents, and now you say, oh, crap, I want to do raids, and this is the best talent for raid progression. So I'll drop this and I'll get that, and then I have to build that tree out. And it's like, okay, cool. I'm done with the mythic raid. I've gotten, cutting edge or ahead of the curve or whatever thing you're looking at. And then all of a sudden you go, oh, now I want to go back to PvP. Oh, I have to restart all my talent build all over again and regain everything. We don't know what that is.
Right.
What I have heard is that Blizzard has said that they want it to be difficult and they want it to have a price tag attached to it.
Right.
Sure.
And so I don't like that.
Okay.
Well, it depends because it depends on how it manifests itself, right? If it manifests itself,
it's really gonna depend. That's why I just sucked the wind out of the room. Is like I'm nervous about it. I don't know what they're gonna do. I have concerns. They seem to be listening pretty intently to what the player base is saying. So there is if they made it so that once you finish the storyline of the whatever group you're with, that you can now pick a new group and you maintain all the abilities that you had from that first group, but you can pick a new group and get their talents and build them up. And then you have a choice between the two groups until you play through all four. And then you have a choice between all four, whichever you feel like at the moment. Cool. But if it's like, oh, I'm stuck on this one until I do this backbreaking requirement in order to change, and then I'm reduced in power because of that choice, the reward and pain points of this system are, I see problems coming, and I don't know what Blizzard is doing to remedy those problems.
So you're making decisions based off of half information and fear.
I'm being apprehensive.
Okay.
Blizzard has unfortunately burned us a lot in the past with a lot of systems that they've put in place. Azerite armor, corruption system, Titan forging. These are systems that did not do what they wanted them to. And there's a reason that they're going away. And so
I question that. I think they did exactly what they wanted to, but
it just created more problems. There's a reason that we're going back to best in slot gear. If Titan forging was good and creating a good environment for playing, we would still have Titan forging in the next expansion.
So
and we don't.
Titan forging, that's not what Titan forging was. Titan forging was that it was Blizzard's way to incentivize people to stay in the game and not cancel subs and keep playing a dungeon repeatedly on the chance of getting that epic Warforged, Titan forged 3-slot gem slot whatever massive thing on the 0.1%.
And now if that was
Upgrades for
achieving
your
their
upgrades.
if that was achieving the goal of desired, we'd still have it. But it wasn't. The player base revolted against it.
I think it achieved what it needed to at the time, and now it's going away because it's not doing what it needed to do anymore. But that's a different conversation. I will say this. I think you have some valid concerns in that. Yes, we've been burnt before, but I'm going to walk into this with an open mind and an open heart and see what Blizzard comes up with, rather than sit back and immediately start decrying a system with half information and not even seeing what the full system looks like.
Well, I'm just expressing my concerns.
Yeah.
One of the first things I'm going to do if I ever get alpha or beta is I'm going to see what does it take to change your talent points.
Yeah.
What does it take to change factions?
Well,
and if it's
right now in the alpha, they only have
incredibly
single.
painful, there's only the one.
Right.
There's only the one.
There's
But I mean, I've been reading the news. I've been listening to a lot of people who are playing and who are looking at the systems and who are looking at the abilities. And there will be a best ability for this aspect of the game. There will be that.
There's always that.
And if you,
there always will
so,
be. That's true for anything.
We just walked through a talent. We just walked through a talent tree and denounced half a tree because it was situationally not even viable.
Right.
Yes. And the way it works now is that you can currently change it whenever you want to go do other content.
Yeah.
And I'm worried that they're not going to be willing to bend and let players have the choice on what to bring to the content that they're playing.
Okay.
And Ian has expressed concern that they don't want to give us that choice.
Yeah, but in the same breath, Ian's also expressed the high level importance that the dev team is putting on having
this be a choice that isn't going to castrate you in PvP if you're a PvPer, but also not sever your head if in PvE if you're a PvEer. Right.
Yeah.
And Blizzard has always expressed desire to balance the classes.
What does that have to do?
Actually, no, they haven't. I can't say they actually have.
Oh, they've said we'd love the classes
Blizzard
to be balanced.
does not balance. No, they don't balance the classes.
You're proving.
There's a reason we still have flavor of the month.
I've never heard them say that they want to balance the classes.
You've never heard
flavor of the month gives them more money.
Twitch chat. Help me out here. Has anybody else ever heard Blizzard saying, "Hey, I'd like to see we want to make it so that all the classes are viable, that they're all balanced, and that they all, have a place to play and in the content of whatever." You never heard that.
This is another episode of Windstead has to make a faulty, backhanded point to bail out of an argument.
I've made my statement. I'm claiming it.
Classic.
I'm on it.
Okay.
They've just shown that they have a hard time following in on things that they would like to do, because it's a complex problem. I'm not saying that it's not a complex problem.
Yeah, it is.
But I mean,
okay. All right. So now we're done that. Let's finish this podcast because Andallyn has a job still, and so do all of us.
Ugh.
And we need to get through this and get into let everybody else go listen to other people's rambling. So I think we're going to take this conversation. We'll just shelve it. We'll see what happens in the next few months coming out of alpha and the beta, and see what information comes out, and then we can make further discussions and decisions as to where the Covenant abilities are going.
Absolutely. And if you have opinions, or you think that we missed something in this conversation, or a point was left out between the three of us, tweet at us and tell us your opinion. Tell us what you're thinking. Maybe something. Exactly. We'd love to hear what you might have to say. So feel free to do that. I encourage you, in fact, to do that.
Yes, please. I want to hear. Actually, I really want to hear what other people's thoughts are towards the Covenant abilities.
Yeah.
Right.
Because there is a lot of speculation to be had still,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. We're in alpha. We are in alpha.
Oh, yeah.
So a lot can change. Yeah.
Indeed. So into the rest of the news, there was some hot fixes. It's all PvE stuff. I didn't see anything PvP-wise that I can think of.
Yeah, no.
So give me over that. This is a pretty big one. I was expecting it. Happy to see it launched today, the news. But just like the MDI was an online only. So everybody's sitting in their own homes playing the game, just like normal, just being streamed. So AWC is going to do the same thing. Everybody's just going to be sitting at home. There's not going to be a LAN. Problem with that is that the original plan was going to have EU pitched against NA. Ping times just can't do it. As good as the internet is, it just can't allow it. So they're changing it up slightly, and now we're going to see a complete division where it's going to be EU playing EU and NA playing NA. So I don't know about you guys. I'm pretty excited about this. So there was some conversation earlier. Some people were saying that it changed the prize pooling. The prize pooling has not changed one iota. It's all the same dollars. It just rejigged a little bit, especially in the finals. The finals were originally supposed to be $500,000 US as the total prize pool in the finals. What they've done is now they're going to do 8 NA cups, 8 EU cups. They're going to do a regional circuit, which is going to be the top 8, and then they're going to do a actual grand finals for each region. And so they had $500,000 just for the grand finals. That's now been split to $250 between NA and EU, with $150,000 being just for the circuits on each side. Grand prize for first place is going to be $40,000 for those teams, and then the actual grand finals is going to be $100,000 prize pool, with the first place team taking half of that at $50,000. So I think that's really awesome. That means that we are actually going to get more games than we did originally. So that's super exciting. And it's not going to be double elimination for these. The intermediate regional circuit, the top 8, is going to be a round robin.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So everybody will play everybody.
Everybody plays everybody.
I kind of like that.
Me too. The EU and NA finals is going to be a GSL style double elimination. This one broke my head. I was trying to read it up to see what this was. So
GSLW double
a GSL style double elimination. So I'm going to have a link in the show notes if anybody's wondering what this actually is. It's been used in a few different ways. I think it was originally StarCraft, or I think I saw it for not Call of Duty, Counter-Strike, I think it was as well.
Wait,
so what
GSL
it is
or ESL?
No, it's called a well, so in the show note, or in the official rule book, I think it was, or in the news that they put out, they called it a GSL style double elimination, which fished up when I searched for it. Oh, it googled up as also as an OSL. Anyway, so what it is you have game 1 and game 2 because you only have it's only four teams, and then the loser plays the winner and the winner plays the loser, and then it flips back to winner and loser. It's interesting. Yeah, it's actually really interesting.
Also known as the dual tournament format, has its origins in StarCraft. Interesting. I'm gonna have to read up on this. You're gonna kill my productivity at work tomorrow. Okay.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyway, so I think it's going to be fun to watch, and in that way, it leans towards bracket style, but at the same time, it allows for more gameplay between 4 teams. So
that's good.
Really excited to see how that turns out.
It's really smart too.
Yeah.
At least from the surface. I'd like to see the round robin. I want to know how they're going to conclude that, because like a round robin is not a standalone tournament. A round robin is a building block of a tournament. You know what I mean? So like,
agreed.
It's a round robin is meant to lead up to seeding a single or double elimination bracket. So I've seen where I've used round robin for when I was doing my my Fireside Gathering Hearthstones. Yeah.
And what it was is the points from that, I just used that as whoever had the most points was first place, and then second place, third place, and then if anybody tied, then I made them do a playoff. So it being 8 teams on a round robin, there's a chance that you'll probably end up with 2 teams with the same points, in which case you'll have to do a playoff finals. Which
we would have to do anyway, even when we were just doing the points, like the TPS, the total point system, which we've done in the past couple of years, right? There were a few last year I think like, ooh, who's going to get in,
Yeah. So I think that's exactly what's going to happen. It's going to be total points, and then we'll have, if there's any ties, to figure out who gets what. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Okay, that's it for the news. Shout outs. I don't have any shout outs personally. Does anybody have anybody that want to shout out?
I'll shout out that punk that was killing me in Borealis. Wherever you are.
For the Horde.
I'll find you. So that's my shout out.
Okay.
Shout out for... Oh, wait. Okay, go ahead, Andallyn.
I don't have any. Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, no. No, I'm good.
You're good.
Actually, no. Sorry. Okay, one quick. I can't remember the name of the mage, but I want to give a shout out to the mage over on the alpha that gave me the free port to Stormwind, so I could turn on war mode and play alpha all by myself.
Legendary. There you go.
Then I will shout out to all of our patrons for the Warcraft Radio podcast team. Thank you. Spasiba.
Indeed. All right. In that case, I'm going to ask, can you guys at least since we know where people can find Maldiva, where can people find us?
Sure. You can visit the Warcraft Radio website to find us and many other great shows at warcraftradio.com.
You can also contact us directly with a tweet to @technicallypvp or an email at technicallypvp@gmail.com.
Indeed. Or you can also join our discussions over at the Warcraft Radio Discord. Links for all these will be in the show notes. And I want to thank everyone for listening, and we'll chat with you next time. Good night, everybody.
Good night, guys.
Have a great night. We'll see you next time.